Oh,
Get
yeah.
ready for the Washed Up Club.
I'm
Just
vibing.
The intro, real quick.
Oh, yeah.
You're a dog.
Oh, hello, everyone, and
Hello,
welcome to
everyone.
the Washed Up Club. Yay!
Why do we start like
We needed to
Brenny
get some
is-
energy in here because Brenny's dying.
Brady's died. He's
He's
dead.
struggling.
old age.
He's struggling. He's had to be awake for a day,
8 hours.
and he's struggling. My name is Adam. My name is Zach and Brenny,
Hello.
who are my guests on this podcast.
What an intro. The poor people that are listening to this in their cars that are just vibing real quick.
There's no way we can have the
Are
music.
we
in there.
doing that as an intro?
Yeah, 100%. As long as
Oh,
it's less
God.
than 9 seconds of it, because copyright will cover it if
Zachary's
not.
made up ass.
No. I'm pretty sure it's 9 seconds.
Yeah,
You can
so you're
use
pretty
it.
sure. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Allegedly, I've
It's
used
the
it.
like my mate told me, and the cop's like writing your fine.
Yeah.
But my mate, who knows a cop,
Yeah,
I'll pay
that
your
sounds
wages.
about right. My uncle told me it's all right.
you do have that.
Yeah, I do have
that's a
that. I
legitimate
do
one.
have that.
It's like oddly quiet in here after turning the
It
music.
is. Can we turn it back on?
Really?
It's
I just hear a
really
silent
vibing.
After an hour of listening to that.
It was hectic. I've got energy now.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Welcome, everyone, to the 6th installment of the Washed Up Club. Before we actually get into this today, we have a new sticker, which we actually had on the website 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
You can now go and purchase it right now on stickersocials.com. Go check it out, as well as the original vinyl sticker of the Washed Up Club logo. You can go check it all out there.
says it more confidently than me.
I'll do my best.
Good salesman.
And whilst you're there, go check out Washed Up Club. Sorry, not Washed Up Club. Sticker socials as well, because it's sort of linked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Something like that.
Don't have to do that,
You
but,
don't have to do that.
but you should.
But you should buy a sticker.
Buy one of these so we can go do dumb shit and be entertaining.
We were talking about some cool ideas before. We won't
were.
put them out onto the thing.
Well,
but
brainstorming.
Or brainstorming. We're having
brain
some
hurts.
fun.
I'm like the negative guy of the brainstorming and the dance party. you guys are like, yeah, but we can do this. And I'm like, really?
Yeah. Why do you
think the music's a bit loud?
Why do you think we needed the music?
Yeah, I needed a
30-year-old
hype up.
over here is like bringing down
Oi,
the vibe,
oi.
and here I am just cruising and vibing, and that's it. Not fun.
Anyway, this is episode 6, so we got episode 7 to go, and then we all quit.
Basically, yeah.
But basically, something that I wanted to talk about, Zach Baldy.
Oh, fuck. Here we go. Wait, we've passed the section where I can swear, yeah? How many seconds in is it?
I believe that's 9 seconds.
Yeah,
Was it someone
I
on
think
second?
it's 11 seconds.
Yeah, sorry. Can I?
Yeah.
I'll repeat.
Anyway.
Oh, fuck. What do you want me to do?
Zach Baldy.
Mm-hmm.
You currently have your dream car up for sale and has been up for sale for quite some time, but now you're talking about actually selling the dream car.
Correct, yeah.
Run us through why, because this is something that we have given you a lot of shit about over the last few days, but I actually want to talk about it.
All right, that's fair.
I didn't particularly, but
I actually feel like I'll get heard here, but I won't get heard at work. Yeah. It's an interesting one. You guys both know that in our young age, that car is worth a fortune.
For those who don't know at home, it's an RX-7, an FD RX-7 Bathurst.
It's got a long name, so it's an RX-7 FD Type R Bathurst R. So it's a one of.
it has to do it
Sorry.
every time. You haven't got the year.
Let me just quickly get off my high horse real quick and just get back down on the ground. No, it's a Type R Bathurst R. So there's only one of 650 in the world, and in yellow there is only one of
650 is way less impressive.
in yellow,
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. In yellow, it's one of 271 in the world.
And it's one of 271 that overheats.
Yeah, that's one of all
No,
of them.
that's usually all of them. It's usually all of them. No, it's one of 271 in yellow, and the best thing about that 271 in yellow is to get the yellow in this Series 8, you had to get the Bathurst R. You couldn't just have it in a regular like RB or RS or Type R or anything, or a Spirit R. You had to get the Bathurst R. That was the only way you could get the yellow. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, the yellow is super limited and everything else as well. But man, it's up for that price where it's like, at the moment, everything's getting so expensive to live, and that car at the
Starting
moment...
podcasts.
Yeah, starting
podcast.
podcast. Trying to keep up with the expense of owning this podcast or 33% ownership. Look, in a way, I think we can all agree that anything over $90,000 is a lot of money, or anything over a couple of $1,000 is a lot of money.
Oh, Jesus. My God.
So, no,
I was like,
I said
looking at lenses, they're like, oh, $300. That's, that's a lot of money.
I didn't mean, okay, I'll rephrase that. Sorry.
So you have $89,000. You're just a fuckwit, if I'm honest.
Man, anything under 90, don't even bother.
I said
I don't
that.
even get paid $90,000 a year. But you know what?
I'm part of a podcast and I can't speak. That was a terrible way of putting it. I'm sorry. I think we can all agree that any large sum of money should be, at the moment it's like it's expensive to live, and we all know how much cars are to
I know where
to
this is
own,
going, and I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm confusing myself. Okay. Anyway, that car is worth a shit ton of money, and I don't think the enjoyment level for me is worth the money aspect that I could potentially put into other things to then potentially one day have financial freedom and buy this back.
The podcast.
Yeah. So basically, you're thinking sell the car for a lot of money, buy a cheaper car that's track only. Like I say cheaper, it's still a reasonably expensive
It'll still
car,
be a reasonably expensive
but
car.
a cheaper car than the FD, and put money towards a house.
Mm-hmm.
My argument to you when we spoke about this, I sort of
Yeah.
said it in a comment. I said, you've always said this is your dream car, and this actually is the first RX-7 that you ever saw.
Correct.
Are you ever going to be in a position that you can buy that car back?
Probably not.
Zach actually found out that he is not the second owner. He's the 27th owner. And I would like to go into that as well.
Wait, what's this?
Did you not say the other day that you found out that your car has been passed around more than Adam?
Oh. No. So I actually got some photos from the original importer of the car in Australia, which is pretty cool. I know the car's been through. It went from the original owner to another guy in Brisbane. He drove it around for I think 10 years, and then it got sold to a guy in Melbourne, and then sold to a guy in Sydney, and I bought it off the guy in Sydney. So it's actually not too bad.
Yeah.
It's like I'm the
Once it got the
owner,
overheating
owner?
issues, it started getting passed around.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. No, it actually never really has overheated ever on me. I just worry about temps. So.
Yeah. Oh, have we spoken about that?
Yeah, we have.
We have?
Yeah.
Because
we
you
have.
blew my mind when you were like, I just have to turn it off when it gets to 90. I consider my car warm at that temperature.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can give it a bit of gas.
Well,
now.
no, the other night we went on a really nice cruise, didn't we, Brandon?
Yeah, that was
We had a really
Mad invite.
Yeah, mad invite.
You
You're
were
at a wedding.
You were at a wedding. That's gross.
Congratulations.
Who does
Adam got
weddings?
married
Adam's
over-
married. Congratulations. Woo! Congrats.
Yeah,
me.
I'm not.
No, we went on a really nice cruise. We have to speak a little bit about, I guess, this little cruise because it was fun.
Yeah, but we haven't finished the first topic
We
yet.
haven't finished the first topic yet. Yeah. So yeah, honestly, I feel like the enjoyment to value aspect of it right now is very, very low because I always stress about this thing. And as beautiful as it is to look at, I feel like, in a way, having the funds for that car being so crazy at the moment, I could step back. And I say by stepping back, I could get into a car that is old enough and fun enough where it still makes all those cool noises and still has the problems that all old 90s Jap cars
Our
has.
AUs makes the cool noise.
Yeah, exactly right. Isn't it weird that AUs can almost be heritage and club regoed?
Because they're
They
a piece of
almost,
history.
really? I thought
Yeah.
they already fell under
Next
that.
year
Yeah, not
is a
AUs.
Oh, better
25
start
year.
$90,000 of AUs is a lot of it. That's like 100.
That's like 90,000 AUs.
Exactly right. Could buy 90,000. No, could buy 900 AUs or one FD. So there's a really big thing. But no, I could step back into a car that's fun for the track and it's fun to drive around town. And I know it's going to be more reliable than a rotary because any car is more reliable than a rotary. And I also this car is probably going to cost around $40,000 to get set up and ready. And it's a car that I've also wanted for a little bit, not as much as the FD, but I've wanted to drive. But then I also have the money left over where I can buy a house and I can actually store these cars in my own place.
Not a fan of that. I usually park out on the streets. That's always a vibe. I remember where I used to live, like every day would be this like open the
Yeah.
blind. Oh, thank God it's still there. And then go
Well,
back to-
if you look at it in a way, I'll be investing in the podcast because we can set up an actual podcast studio.
Don't believe him.
Permanent time.
Not happening.
If you pay me back 8 times.
I'll only charge a little bit of rent. It's all right.
Are
but-
you willing to drop what car you want to get? This said replacement of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dream
100%.
car.
Because I've told it probably a lot of times on YouTube. I've really wanted an Evo 5. I love Evos. I think they look sick. I think the interiors are bland as hell.
They're a race car, though.
They are a race car, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're a very bare bones thing. I love the fact that if you want no electronics, you have to spend more on them.
You
Like
could get a Starlet.
I could get a
No
Starlet, that's the
electronics.
thing. But no, like I think the 4G is a really cool engine. I think like having a 300 horsepower Evo is a fast car. Like it's a quick car. They weigh nothing. Parts are easily kind of accessible because
I don't know about that.
I don't know about
He's
that.
comparing to an RX-7.
I'm comparing this to an
remember?
RX-7.
Yeah.
Comparing to an RX-7, like the Lancer is basically like it's
Do you
it's a
want
Lancer.
a normal spec one, or are you going to be like, oh, I want the Bathurst MR 69 3? Like,
Well,
go on, tell us what weird
that
one
was
you
the
want.
thing is
Yeah.
because I could basically straight trade my Bathurst R for a TME, like a 6.5 TME.
That's the red ones.
Yeah, they're like white, red, blue,
I
a
don't
couple
know
other
enough
different
about
ones.
Evos.
It's a rally car.
Tommy Mackinnon
It's a
edition.
wally car.
Right. So get this. You put a name to it. You get rid of the radio. You put wind-up windows back in it.
Race
you
car.
remove
Lighter.
all of the weight and the sound deadening and everything,
Race car.
and then you sell it for like 3 times the money.
Business.
And the only person that's like, ooh, is him.
And I'm like, that's freaking cool. I don't know. I do like badges because I think they just hold their value a little bit more.
All
But-
of the things you just said are the same as the Starlet,
So what you're saying is you're buying a really expensive Starlet.
I'm buying a very expensive Starlet, yeah.
but slower.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
slower,
All you do
less
is add a
practical,
turbo and you add another 2-wheel drive, and then you got
less clout.
yeah.
If now I hate this because I always hated this conversation, but I want to be the person that brings
Mm-hmm.
it up for once. If you could put the money into a Starlet,
You could have a really fast
you could have a
Starlet.
really dangerous Starlet.
You could have a
I
lot of
won't say
Starlets.
fast. I won't say fast because you'll just single peg off to
Yeah.
off to the side of the road.
Well, that's one thing is it'd be cool to build a sleeper, but like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I really like these sorts of cars, and I buy them based on the looks. I buy them based on the sound mainly. Like the sound of a car is a big thing for me, and having a nice big
Not
dose
for
is
me.
good. And
SRs sound terrible. Like Tonka trucks.
Yeah, they do.
yeah, I mean,
so
I'll be completely
vibratory.
honest. Rotaries don't sound the best when in their stock form.
I think they sound interesting.
They do sound
I
interesting.
think they always, like, you hear one, oh, you know.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever liked an SR is when people wind them up so much that you're like, oh,
Yeah.
is that going to blow up? But they sound cool
So-
at that
SRs
level.
sound like they shouldn't run.
Yeah.
They sound broken all the time.
I find it really funny. I was looking into getting an RX-7 for the first time, and I went to Drift Matsuri, and I heard this horrible sounding car from across the track. It was straight piped. I was like, that car sounds fucked. It is so disgusting. And I look over the hill. I'm like, sure, it has to be like an SR or something like that. No, it was a stock RX-8 with a straight pipe. I'm like, wow, that sounds terrible.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah,
wanting to
that's
get one of these.
never going to sound good.
But yeah, no, I think IFDs sound good, and I think with the right mods, you can make them sound good.
Was there any other car that you considered other than the Evo
And do you
5?
actually want this really high spec
Yeah.
one? Because you're going to use
No,
all
I don't
your
want the
money.
high spec one. No.
Okay.
The idea is I want to buy something like my 33. There is other cars that I do want, and obviously a 33 and a 32 is definitely on the cards because I really like them. S chassis, I've never owned an S chassis. I feel like that'd be kind of a fun
Well,
car.
I have the clapped out Sylvia for you.
I know you got some cool cars.
He's got 2 clapped out Sylvias.
For you. It'll cost $90,000, which is chum change to you.
89, so it's like not even
89,
worth it for
that's,
you.
yeah, I'll keep
Work week.
1,000. There is some other cars, but yeah, no, I definitely won't get the high spec. I just want a baseline Evo 5 with the power windows and stuff like that. I don't care about the interior because I'm going to put bucket seats in it from Raceworks, which is pretty
He's got
cool.
no dash. He's like, oh, I got bucket seats though.
No, I don't mind too much about the interior. I just want like a relatively clean one that's mechanically sound is the biggest thing, trying to find a mechanically sound one. And I don't want to spend anything more than like 35 grand on the car itself.
And is this like a car you're going to drive hard? Like,
Yes.
this is the car that...
After the RX-7, I don't care about, like, after working at Keep It Reet and seeing how they treat their engines, and then having my RX-7, and having the BRZ now, where I just can hot lap that, no worries at all, I'll be okay with a piston engine.
It's called a cold lap when it's that slow.
Yes.
Oh, that's very funny. So I feel like I've spoken a lot already in this podcast. So.
No, because I just wanted everyone to hear the thought process
I
behind
like
it,
hearing
because
it.
it is something that I was thinking about. Like, yes, the RX-7 is a very cool car, but you don't drive it.
Yeah.
You don't enjoy the car that you have.
Yeah.
I want to add to that. Zachary, for someone that has such an expensive car, drives it so normally. Like, he's just dipping through traffic. We're going to carnival, just parks in the car park. Whereas I have friends with cars that are a quarter of the value. And they're like, okay, so if we go 27 kilometers that way, there's a single car park with trees all around it that have the shrubs cut back to protect the car.
Yeah,
I'd like that he will still.
My
take
favorite
it to a normal
memory
place.
in that car is I was going to go get work gear for my previous job, and I was going to Totally Workwear, and I was driving through Pakenham, and it is really dodgy with potholes. It was raining. I was wading through 2-inch or 3-inch high water up to the sills on the RX-7. I couldn't see anything because I didn't have a demister, so I was wiping down the windscreen. The windscreen wipers were going crazy. I was in peak hour traffic, and I was wading through water in that car. It's a lot of fun. I drive
He's
my
gone
cars.
too far. That's too far. That's just being careless, man. What are you thinking?
Well, I like driving it. It's fun.
How good is a video of the people like when there's a flood and you see like the person in their little Corolla like, and they're like, and you're like, you made a mistake.
Definitely don't drive through floodwaters. Little safety announcement there.
Yeah. We are all about the safety in this podcast.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, don't know.
Yeah.
Didn't really
Do you feel that's a good reason? Do you feel like I literally
think
have a
it
pros
is-
and cons list on my phone if you want me to bring it up? Because when I was going to sell it and thinking about selling it, I wrote up a pros and cons list on my phone.
I think
I do
it
with everything.
is, but you just have to be comfortable with the fact knowing that you probably most likely will never have the car again.
Exactly right.
Until the podcast kicks off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
exactly.
probably
Until-
like a week or two and you'll be able to get it back.
Until like 10 people buy a sticker,
Yeah.
and we'll be rich.
10 minutes. You can literally do the math. We will not. No, I'm just worried you're gonna get the Evo and
Basically,
just not
like,
be happy
you don't want
either.
regrets. You don't want regrets.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how long you've been thinking about this, but it feels like it's been like 3 days.
Yeah. I feel like only last podcast, like, and I finally got my dream car. And then like this one, he's like, I'm selling my dream car. Everybody has a price.
For everyone that sort of watches my channel knows that I'll sell everything for the right price. I think there is a price of when it becomes too expensive to have fun with it. And I feel like for the money that, like the Falcon was the same thing. I bought that car for 12.5 grand and I sold it for 30 and I wasn't having
And you
fun in
only
that car
spent
anymore.
60 on it.
Yeah.
So it's raw profit.
I think I spent 50 or so on that car.
You've
like
given me
including
a new
the
goal.
car. Mm-hmm.
You've given me a new goal in life. I want to make enough money that I can buy all your dumbass numbers. Just so you're like, oh, I've got this beautiful. I built a Lancer to do grip days. It's so fun. And I'm like, 12 grand. And you're like, oh, heck. You know, just like a normal, like, you know, just to be able to like trash on everything.
So you want me to like buy a shit car, build it like crazy,
Yeah.
and then you're going to offer me the money that I think it would be okay
Yeah,
to let it go
yeah.
for, and so I never can drive a car in my life.
Yeah, no, just to dictate like, I don't really enjoy that build. Buy it. That's my goal to make, you know.
Just exploit him.
Yeah,
That's
Go,
terrible.
oh,
That's horrible.
oh, I don't really like this car. Brendan goes 12 grand. You go 30.
Meanwhile, he's just buying Starlets. I end up with more Starlets.
And Brendan's having the time of his life. So many Starlets.
So many stars.
Family update.
Yep.
Maggie's brothers bought a Starlet. So now there's
Hey.
3.
Starlet family's growing.
He's got a really pretty like blue coloured one.
Yep.
I
Ooh.
hate them. Mine
You don't like
still
the
smells
blue?
like piss. Oh, no, the blue's pretty. I hate
nice.
Starlet.
That's because you piss in it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't go to
So,
the toilet.
so far. You know, I'm running late. I got to make ends meet, you know. I was watching drift games this morning, and I'm like, probably should go to work. But it's more exciting.
We were
when
both just at work early, so we just watched it.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to see you guys for a minute more than I have to. Apart from a Wednesday.
Apart from a
podcast
Wednesday
day.
No, that's very cool.
They're very valid points.
Yeah.
I'm keen to see what you get. I would like to see you enjoying something more. Like, it's really weird to be like checking the weather to take your car out.
Yeah, you're like, I might drive it here. I'm like, Zach, it's gonna be 30 degrees. Oh.
Do you guys want
See,
to?
it's like, but when I do drive it, when I drove with you the other night,
Yeah.
that was a fun cruise,
Wait,
and
so-
I really enjoyed it.
So it was raining. I was working on we'll call this one Star Shit and Starlit. That's the silver one, the nice one. Well, not nice, but it's got coilovers and works. So I'm working on Star Shit to get it back home because I pulled all the parts off of it for Starlit. And then we were meant to be going out, you know, to a car meet with Dave Egan. Zachary's bringing out the old race car. Jace, so we're all going to, you know.
We're all gonna mob,
And it was
It's gonna be
raining.
fun.
So I'm like, surely this isn't going to happen. Like, who goes to car meets in the rain? Turns out a lot of people.
Yep.
Turns out I was late once again by an hour.
No. We agreed to meet up at 6:30. You arrived at
No,
8.
I was told 7.
You were told 7.
I was told 7. I arrived at 8. At least give me the correct hour late. Yeah, so that was my bad. I just really didn't think it was going to happen. So, I'm zipping home and I'm like, it's about 7, but it's not going to happen. I text Zach, like, how's it going? And he's like, yeah, we're all here waiting for you. And I'm like, oh, heck. So I had a shower because I smelled like cat piss because it's the style that smells. Jumped in old Maggie's Subi. Maggie was really funny. Dave Egan we roll in. And she's
Oh,
like,
Maggie's a bigger fan than I am.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she freaked out. It was hilarious.
So, 5 months ago, I just somehow stumbled upon Drift Games and we just binge watched. They have this series where they're like building pro cars to drive pro cars. Him and Josh, I believe it is. And yeah, so Maggie and I just kind of binge watched that with dinner and stuff. And yeah, so I drive in because I was like, I'm going to work. Anyway, I drive in and Maggie goes, oh, that's like actually him. I'm like, what did you think? We're going to have a fucking cutout poster of him? Like, just a billboard. Anyway, yeah, so she was pretty starstruck.
Maggie's so lovely. When we went to a festival with Dave Egan, a carnival.
A carnival. I
Carnival?
wouldn't say festival.
Sorry, not a festival.
Screams cool. Carnival.
Yeah, sorry.
You
screams
Yeah.
carnies.
You went on a first date with Dave.
We literally,
jealous.
we literally went on a first date with. It would have felt like it for Maggie because Dave went on this horrible, terrible freaking ride, but Dave gave Maggie his hat. And Maggie gripped it with both hands, and she looked like she had sparkles in her eyes. It was so funny. It was
Mags
hilarious.
is actually great like that. Like,
Yeah.
I would have been on the ride. My phone's like flying out of my pocket. Actually, I thought I'd continue back. So we cruise off to a meet in Narre Warren.
Yeah.
And
Narre Warren
it's this
Autobahn.
yearly meet they do at Autobahn. It was pretty cool. I've actually been past times. I never know that it's coming up. It's one of those ones I just always end up at. But because it's a bigger once a year meet, there actually was a fair few people there. So my bad for making everyone late. Sorry, Dave. I know you're an avid listener to the podcast. Yeah, and so we roll up there, check it all out. It was a good vibe. And then it kind of died off. No, across the road's this carnival, and I saw this big claw slinging thing, and I'm like, Jace, come on, me on that. We get in. They don't sell Zach tickets because Jace and I just got tickets. Then they go they're like, no, we're not selling tickets anymore. To Zach, who was right behind us, who they just sold us like $60 of tickets. So I'm like, oh crap, I got to use these tickets. Jace is in Jace mode where he's just like, what do you mean we've got to use the tickets? I'm like, Jace, they're shutting soon. And so we rushed onto this
We
big
rocked up at
claw
11
thing.
o'clock at night, I think. We
And
got
it-
to this
And-
carnival.
And it probably shuts at 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go. I walk. I'm like, Jace, we'll go on the claw thing. We'll go on the claw thing. I rip off my tickets, give all my crap to Maggie. It forces Dave and Blaine to basically rush onto it without thinking, because Blaine legit did a story like 2 seconds prior, like, no way, I'm going on that bitch. And I'm like, come on. And we went on this scary claw thing. That was a vibe. It was good fun.
It was cool. Like, you think about it in a cool way.
Don't
like,
you say it was cool. You bitched it.
Well, no, I recorded. I was the.
I recorded.
I was more of a part of all this. I was the content creator, so I was
Wow.
all right.
Creating content for his Instagram story.
Yeah, I tagged you all in it. Dave reshared my story.
Ooh.
So happy. We're like on best friend status at the moment.
Yeah. Well, see, so you'll see that Zachary got the most out of this first date.
It's a lot different to the week previous, so it's
fair
really
point.
good.
Did you watch his video yet? The bit where he explains his workplace and how
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I did get it now. I'm Josh in his world.
In his yes.
Yeah.
We also went and got burritos. That was fire too.
That was pretty good.
That was like my favorite bit. Like just vibing, like chatting about things.
Can we
Dave's
quickly
super
just talk
relatable.
about how much they got fucked on by?
Oh yeah,
Adam doesn't
100%.
know about this story yet.
So we all order our standard. It was like they were mistreating the foreigners.
Yeah.
Like
It's like they were incredibly racist because these
Yeah.
two were speaking
Right.
Irish.
What
I
did,
don't
what
know.
did
Speaking Irish.
Irish English.
Irish English?
Had an Irish accent.
No, Dave got like I don't even.
He got
know.
a quesadilla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it looked like they just put cheese in a tortilla.
It looked like he got a
and folded
tortilla
it over.
and folded it over in quarters, and they just gave him a flat tortilla. It was no more than, I dare say, like half a centimeter tall.
Did they order
Nice.
last? I feel like they got the like.
No, I ordered last. Me and Sarah.
Yeah, see, that's the weird thing because
Yeah.
I thought maybe they were like last scoops of meat and whatnot. But if you were after them and you got perfectly fine,
Yeah, I got
and
a
then
mad
Blaine got tacos and it legit looked like they were like
So
they held it near the food or something.
he
'cause they did
got tacos, right? 2 little tiny tacos.
Yep.
And
Not
he
enough
asked,
meat
He
for
asked for
one.
no lettuce because he doesn't like lettuce. He likes coriander, which is weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
But he doesn't like lettuce. So he asked for no
Yeah, that's
lettuce,
weird.
and they gave him, like, you know how you would usually give them like a portion of meat, lettuce, and then cheese on top?
Yeah.
They gave him just like the regular portion of the cheese and cheese and meat. So I dare say, once again, he had a full taco that was about 10 centimeters tall, and I dare say that bottom centimeter was full of
I
fruit.
reckon it was less than that. Between
Yeah.
if you put the fillings
Really?
of both tacos into one, it wouldn't have made a full taco.
No,
to
it
me.
wouldn't have made a full meal between them.
Meanwhile, we
Like-
all got these yummy full meals.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was a vibe. It was a cool little date. Would like
It
to
was.
hang out with future guests in that way. It's very
Yeah.
like
Very personable. That's cool.
yeah. It was
Well,
cool.
they're not normally here for that long.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, and then Dave got absolutely effed on by the ice cream, the large ice cream that
Oh,
he
yeah.
ordered. Once
he
again,
is a big
came
lad,
out.
so maybe it looked even.
Did you get a minuscule
He ordered
ice
a
cream?
large ice cream, and it looked like half of a quarter of this.
It was the size of a Mac's soft serve,
the small ones,
the small one.
and they called that a large.
Yeah.
I felt bad.
I felt-
For
Was it
some
like- was it
reason,
like
I
a-
feel like I wasn't doing him justice, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Well, you didn't make it," and I'm like, "Yeah, fair point."
Yeah.
Fair
Just
point.
cancel all future trips for Dave to Australia because the food's just not good. It's
You
ridiculous.
had a good HSP.
He had a mad HSP.
Yeah, but they do that. Because I was like, oh, so you've never had a HSP either? And he's like, "Yeah, they call it like meat and chips or whatever. It's just a different name.
Okay,
Like
right.
It seems like a lot of places around the world do it. It's just not
No, I think a lot of
HSP.
places do it very similar, but I don't think they put all the sauces on it.
Yeah, right. I'll give you that, yeah. But that's basically my HSP anyway, because I'm boring.
Yeah, and this guy, can I just have lemon juice and that's it?
I get cheese.
Can everyone just call him out on that? He
Yeah.
just
Wait,
gets
wait.
lemon juice.
I get a
Is this-
mixed HSP
Yeah.
with cheese and lime or lemon. That's it.
Oh, that's worse than my original
Yeah.
order.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
terrible. My original order was just chicken, cheese, and sour cream.
Not much worse.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. They're both atrocious.
I can't do sauce. It makes
To
me
be
feel
honest,
sick.
I kind of like the lime idea because it'd be like
Oh,
it'd
my
be
God.
hot with like a little bit of zest in it. It'd be like the fucking
really spice up my boring ass meal.
I have to say I do bitch it and get sweet chili because I've been fucked on so many times with the mass chili
Yeah.
that I can't even taste anything. So one day I just said I've had enough. put
You
my
know,
foot down and got
yeah.
sweet chili instead.
You know how I said
It's just safer.
there was that HSP place we went to after the Driftworks day, and it was really nice. Jace pointed at a sauce, like a dipping sauce, and was like, "Can I get that?" And so they put that in there. He's like holding it. It's like physically dripping goos, and I'm just like, "Well, I have my lemon." But yeah, they go like it's like either they're like, and that's all you get, or way too much. Like, how have they not learnt it
Yeah, I
when
know.
someone says just a little bit or just a, like where's the moderation?
But like, I don't want to spend the money to get a HSP just to get arced on with chili.
Yeah.
So that's why I go sweet chili.
Seems like it ruins it. Like you're just like
It does because
swimming in it.
yeah, when it's just like a stupid amount and it's like a warm day or something, and you're just dying. Because otherwise, I would get chili if they put a normal amount of chili on it, but they never do.
I don't really get HSPs. I've had too many questionable ones, and I'm just like not about that anymore. The next day, just
Yeah.
being like, but
you-
I will have them for work.
Or you
after
end
we
up
do
like,
the events.
or you end up like Josh at 2 a.m. messaging the group chat going,
Double
anyone
bu-
else's HSP? Anyone else's HSP had a lot of chili in it or not?
I love when you guys like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I had
Yeah,
a
no.
question for you lads.
yeah, go on.
Have you guys played VR before?
I have, yes.
I have a little bit.
Because I'm a firm believer that it's probably the next step in tech. I feel like we're like this self-driving car, fuck off, not going to work. People can't drive normally, let alone with cars that drive themselves. But there's new tech coming out in VR. It's getting better, and I definitely think it's going to be a future thing. But it had me thinking, like, obviously it's very driven by the whole 3D porn thing going on, I was like, what word can I say here that won't get us, kicked off? And it made me wonder, like, there's literally, like, young adults nowadays, full headset on, enjoying an adult movie, and no one can tell. Like, imagine getting walked in on and you're in a VR realm.
I thought we
Where
were
did-
going into gaming.
No,
I thought
yeah.
we were going into.
Yeah,
So
like,
I was thinking
maybe some
about-
sim racing.
Yeah,
I don't
No,
know.
it will, I promise.
Yeah.
Firstly, I have never used
First
my VR
of all, can
for
we
that.
talk about VR porn? I feel like this is a really good thing we need
And-
to bring up right now on this automotive YouTuber podcast.
It will get to there. It just crossed my mind because I was like,
It'll
oh,
come. It'll come eventually.
You have to say, firstly, I've never watched because it made me think the nerves you have to go. Just imagine like saying you're going to block all of your senses and
Yeah.
do something quite inappropriate.
Even
in
if
the
I
middle
knew
of
I
a
had
room.
the house alone for a full weekend, I feel like putting on a VR
Right,
headset
Nick.
would be like, I hope no one walks in.
Yeah, your like neighbor comes to
Yeah.
like borrow some sugar or
Yeah.
something. I don't know, not that anyone does that.
And you're just there with a random screen on your eyes, just
Yeah,
I don't know.
that thought crossed my mind because I knew Zachary had some VR experience. And I want now it sounds like that. So Zachary,
Moving on to that.
thoughts? Do you want to say something?
No
mate?
comment. All right. Go on to the main point.
the main point was I was streaming my VR gaming experience, and it was crossing my mind on the way to work today. How immersive and like keen I am on it, but I don't use it. And like I know Zachary has a 3-screen setup, and I'm sitting there like, do I get a 3-screen setup for my sim, or do I get the VR headset out and use that more? Because I was thinking like you do a lot of grip racing, and I feel like the VR headset gives you such a good sense of speed, and I'm like, I would like that because it'll feel fast. I'll actually be able to play car games better.
VR is
And I wanted your
great.
opinion.
VR is
Because you've
brilliant.
used both.
Yeah, I personally prefer triple screen because I get motion sickness very quickly, and VR is a very quick way to make yourself throw up behind your own sim setup.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very quickly.
I've done a little bit of drifting with it, and that's
Yeah.
how I know I really like it. But
And the one thing about VR headsets that I hate already is no one has made a VR headset that has the resolution or the quality that I want. Because when you
Yeah.
put VR on, it's like you're stepping back in time and you're watching a 480p
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Legit. I've never found a VR headset.
the tech's coming, I promise.
Yeah,
Look
I know.
at the porn industry.
The tech is coming, yes, and I think it's going to be brilliant when it is here. But at the moment, when I'm doing a 45-minute race, I get sick. My eyes get very hot my face gets very hot because it's like a big leather thing that goes around your face. And I don't think the quality's there.
I feel like it'd be terrible for your eyes.
Yeah,
Surely.
yeah. But isn't that a like a wives' tale or whatever? Sitting close to the screen's bad
I'll
for
give
you.
you square
know.
eyes.
Yeah, like I thought that was like a thing our parents told us, just like having the light on in the car's illegal and all that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just like it is very close to
What
your
VR
eyes.
experience have you had? Like, what have you done?
My mate had one set up at his house, and I've
Just
Do
had
you
a
car
played a
games
few.
or
Had a bit
Nah,
of a
it's never
group
car
sesh.
yeah,
games.
group session straight to the porn together.
No, it was just like the normal VR games that you get when you first get VR.
Yeah.
So
Wait, did you do like Beat Saber or something?
Yeah, that was one
Beat
of them.
Saber's the only one I don't get sick with.
Is it good? I've never
Beat Saber's
tried
pretty
it.
I
fun.
would-
I quite
yeah.
like it. Yeah,
We'll have to give it a crack.
I reckon it'd be fun.
It's the only one I've never like. I could play for hours.
Then what was
Yeah,
that
okay.
one that like you're trying to shoot the people that they're all like low poly and then time speeds up when you move, and if you stop,
I
then
know what
it's,
you're
like,
speaking about. I don't
frozen.
know what it's called though. I played a
what
gun
that's
game
called.
called.
That was
Pavlov.
actually really fun, that game.
I find
Like I've had a really good times with VR.
Yeah.
It's just it's like pain in the ass to
It's
set up.
so elaborate,
It
yeah,
is.
and that's why like I don't know. It's just been a lot on my radar
I
recently.
feel like, not that I've used the sim setup or anything like the 3 screen stuff. I think I would prefer that because you can actually like have mates around and stuff. Whereas when you got VR, you're like
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
there like zoned out, and then they're like looking at a screen off in the distance, and it's just
Yeah.
it's not really
Millennials
the
these
same.
days can't hang out
Well,
without
like-
being behind their phones.
I knew you were gonna have to bring this up.
There's a few select people that joke will tailor to. But yeah, sorry, continue. That's all I'm saying.
We have the like my Sim's only got a single screen because I have a Sim and a computer, like two separate things. And so my VR's on my computer that can handle VR. My Sim isn't, hence why I'm like having this debate. But you bring up a great point, like the single screen, like it's in my lounge room. And it's not tacky, I promise. My mate called it tacky the other day because I sent a photo like of Maggie watching something while I was playing Sim, and he's
There's
like,
nothing wrong with that.
because his was made of wood.
Yeah.
He made like the 2x4 bolts nailed together.
Yeah,
Mine's
yeah,
a
okay.
nice setup. I paid a bit too much for it, and it is a vibe. You like sit
Yeah.
down, play a bit of racing, jump on the, watch TV. It is a hangout vibe.
Yeah.
But the VR is really fun because you like head check. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, someone's coming.
Yeah. And I love the
I
fact you
feel
can
like-
stand up and look over the car and stuff. Like, kind of cool.
Yeah.
I feel like you just need both.
Oh yeah. No, that's the best of both worlds because like you just chuck it on, have a bit of fun. But then the headset is such an amount of effort. Like I used to stream VR. I would do it like once a month.
Jeez, your computer must have been insane.
It's not bad. It definitely stuttered, especially
Yeah.
and I had to. The hardest thing was setting it up to be elaborate. Like I had to put the camera like really far down on me because I wanted
Yeah.
people to be able to see me walking around. The amount of times my head's like this close to the wall and I'm looking around. And I'm like, no way did I not headbutt. Because
Yeah.
you can set little limits. So once you
Yeah.
hit the limit,
Yeah,
it puts up a fake wall. But you
Yeah.
don't want to set that too short because then you get these fake walls popping up all the time. So I'd be like brushing my nose against like my curtain. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm right up against it. You just lose complete.
Yeah.
But the other thing I wanted to bring up with the immersiveness in the stream was I played a game called The Forest. Have you guys heard of that before?
Sounds scary.
I've heard of it.
I was doing a Halloween stream, and I'm like, I'll try to pick a game that's not too scary because I will be in VR, and I don't actually do good with scary games. Like I'm just on edge the whole time. Anyway, turns out I picked the scariest game in the world to play in VR. And there's literally clips of me screaming and losing all idea of that I'm in a game and punching. Like, so like The Forest is basically Lost. I don't know if Lost might be too old for you
No,
young
I'm
lads.
pretty sure I know what.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you're flying in a plane. The plane goes down. You've got to find your son. You're on an island. There's mutant creatures. I only played the first 2 hours of it like 3 times now because I kept getting scared.
Yeah, right.
I legitimately, I would end the stream and then have to take the headset off and freak out because like I'm like chilling out. I had a heartbeat sensor on my heart rate's like 190 while I'm punching on with like these. Yeah, it was a good vibe. But yeah, very keen for the future of VR because there's I think I can't remember what company dropped a new one, and it's definitely like a bit more cutting edge. The resolution is a bit nicer.
Yeah. I've heard good things about the HP reverbs. I feel like they're the top at the moment, but if this new company's actually come out and it actually looks legit, then I think
It's PlayStation. PlayStation did VR ages ago. It was not impressive.
Yeah.
Apparently their new one's pretty good. I was listening to Linus Tech Tip speak about it. I was like, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
But it's such an upfront investment. Like it's so expensive. And the what's the Facebook stuff? Quest?
Yes.
And Rift. I have the Rift S. But Facebook's leaning heavily into the Quest stuff. But it's so expensive. Like when it's affordable, it's gonna be that's gonna be gaming to me.
Yeah.
Like kids are gonna come home and like play gun games, but be in the game.
Yeah. It's a little bit scary in that aspect too, though, because I feel like it's such a, I don't know, it's so different from reality that people could get very easily immersed in it.
Yeah.
And I know people already have. There's people that live on VR and live in a different, complete
Imagine
dimension.
being in like VR for longer than you're actually like out around the house or whatever.
People do, and that's scary to me.
Is that actually like someone has been in VR for longer than like half of their life?
People do.
Oh no, surely not.
Surely not.
Surely not.
For longer than half their life.
Half their life.
No. I could
But
imagine
like-
over
But you
time,
could
yes.
at this point, I think.
But
And
like
I-
for years.
if you were streaming VR every day, like 8 hours a day, there are people doing that. And that blows my mind.
Yeah,
Imagine taking off, eating, and going to sleep or something.
Yeah,
It's just trippy.
You would take your VR off. You would have an hour or 2 hours where you would eat and then go to bed. You would sleep, which you're not in consciousness, and then you'd get up the next day, 2 hours, get back into VR.
I think it would really mess with your perception. You know how I got you that random ass mirror in your car and it's curved and it like warps your eyes.
Yeah.
Like you got to get used to it. That's kind of like VR. If you play it for an excessive amount of time, your eyes get used to it. And when you take it off, you're like, oh, going back to factory settings. What games have you played, Zachary?
I've only ever played a set of Corsa with it. I really want to try Beat Saber though. Yeah, I've only ever done sim racing.
I'll have to bring the old setup.
Yeah, I'd love to.
We'll
yeah,
give it
that'd be
crack.
cool. That'd be
for a
very
few
cool.
Games.
But I honestly reckon it's a little bit scary when you look at it that way. Where
That's
people
you getting
can
old though, bro. Getting scared of the tech.
Yeah, I know. I guess it's just so different for me. But I know it's completely fine. I mean, if people want to live in the metaverse, is what they call it, they're more than welcome to.
Wait, isn't it? I thought the metaverse was like
The metaverse is
NFTs and shit.
No, metaverse is Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah, but I thought that was like its own thing.
It's a virtual
Oh, I
reality.
legit just thought that
in
VR
Facebook.
like there was the metaverse or like
No
an
clue.
online. Okay,
Like another universe. I don't
No,
know.
it's
Another
like it's
dimension.
the virtual world, but it's connected to Facebook.
I haven't actually.
Oh,
The
okay.
only
Somehow.
thing I've done online with VR
could be
is Assetto Corsa as well. That was a total vibe, but like there's like full on like people just doing what's that chat one? There's literally one that you just hang out. You pick a character and you hang out.
I love the comedy videos about them,
Yeah,
like from
yeah.
Misfits and stuff. Their
Yeah.
videos on it is so brilliant. I love it.
It's pretty
But,
good. Yeah, I would like to get more into VR,
I agree.
but it's
I feel like
so
it'd be fun.
expensive. And then I want like the Sims that swing.
Yeah,
Like-
that's something that I've always wanted to try. Is what are they, like 5-axis Sims or something?
I don't know. I don't know.
Four
I
axis.
don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know.
Where you
Yeah.
draw
But the
axis.
ones that like literally throw you around everywhere.
Yeah, you're talking about the ones that they just built up in Queensland? The VR motorsports?
Fuck knows. I don't know.
Yeah, no clue about that.
I'll show you after the podcast.
Road
I've just
trip.
seen videos and they're like drifting and they're getting like thrown around in the sea and stuff.
Yeah.
It sounds so cool.
I did that once up in Queensland. They have this guy is an engineer and freaking rocket scientist or whatever it is, but he's
Shoots
built
you into
these.
space when you crash.
Or when you roll, the thing just like tumbles like this. It's terrible. And
Imagine one that actually
Yeah.
rolled you.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god! You're crashing. You're like
Yeah.
actually scared because
But-
you're like.
you physically don't want to crash in these because it does hurt. And the worst thing for me is when I crashed. The more I crashed, the more I would get sick. And so I was like getting really unwell, and I couldn't drive as well. And then I kept crashing, and it's like, oh god, and
Zach's
then
doing
keep
like
going.
a paid review. He crashes.
They gave me a few sessions for free to go down there and obviously like film and do some stuff for them. And I don't think I ever paid for a session there. They were really nice
I
people.
make something up and it's true. Zach's just
Yeah.
honestly.
We actually have a video. I did a collab video with him when we played Cops and Robbers on LA Canyons on Assetto. It was
that's
really
cool.
fun. But of course,
I want to play Assetto with you, like grip racing.
I had to fall off the mountain on the things,
Oh,
and I was
no.
getting like this, and it was just terrible. It was horrible.
This is so fun. Zach's going green.
Yeah.
Oh, too good.
That was good. That was good.
Is that why you didn't go on the old claw machine?
Yeah, because I'm terrible with motion. It's bad.
So when I was Brony Beast, I put on a bit of weight.
You always say it like that.
Yeah, because I was an Australian icon for Minecraft for 1 year. I put on a little bit of weight doing YouTube. I'm a young lad. I haven't learnt that you got to exercise in, exercise out, food in, food out, blah, blah, blah. And so I put on a bit of weight, but I always loved theme parks. But there had been like 5 years of putting on weight in between my theme park going. And damn, you get thrown around a lot more than when you're like a bloody 60 kilo 18-year-old compared to like an 80 kilo, like I felt that. I was like, oh damn. And I didn't think that would ever be a thing of it. I was like, you're harnessed in, doesn't make a difference. But no, it does. It definitely does.
Well, it'd be the same as having a bucket seat that's too big for you.
Yeah, I suppose. I once, when I was like, they did a little height thing. Obviously, I'm very tall, so I was always really close to the height thing. One time at the show, and they let me in. And they're like, yeah, you'll be fine. I could have climbed out of that thing. And it was full spinning upside down and stuff. I remember like bracing like this and going, you are actually holding yourself in this for your life. It was terrifying.
Oh,
And
no.
and I just wanted to get rid of those bad feelings and go on a roller coaster with Jason, Dave, and Blaine. I had good fun.
That's good. Oh, you went. Wait, you were falling out of this one? You went on the weekend?
No.
Okay, right.
I know I'm not tall still, but no,
Yeah.
I was perfectly fine on the one this weekend. I had a good time.
Yeah. It was
feel
cool
good.
to hang out with one of your idols because we all watch drift games and we think that they do some pretty cool stuff. But it's cool because of where we work now that we get to hang out with these sorts
Definitely
of people. And
a cool job perk.
it's a very cool job perk, I think.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's going to go
Meeting you
even
guys
better
was
throughout
pretty-
the year.
Pretty special to me as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Starting a podcast with the boys from work.
You know what's funny though? Out of everyone that was there, Jason was the fourth biggest influencer.
No. We looked at that. Drift Games is bigger than me now. And is Keep It Reet not bigger than you now?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jason's.
It'd have to be close.
It's 2,000 off.
2,000.
Yeah.
It'll happen
In a month's time.
in about 3 weeks' time. But
Zach got
at
it.
the moment, we were out with Dave from Drift Games. We were out with you and myself and Jason.
You were hanging out with Brenny Beast. That's
Yeah,
pretty wild.
Yeah. I love it how we were so unassuming to Dave. Dave wouldn't have a clue what our channels are whatsoever. But
No,
It's
can't.
yeah.
funny.
You might know about the podcast.
Where we got HSPs, there was this girl that came up, and we were walking out.
Yeah.
This girl that came up and went to Dave, went, "Oh, can I take a photo? I'm a big fan." He's like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty cool." Starts taking photos of the VL.
Oh, you were telling me.
But
this,
like,
yeah.
I'm not sure if I think she was taking it for her brother or boyfriend or something
Yeah.
that just liked VLs. I don't
Yeah.
think, like, no keeper read.
That's
Because
so
she had no
weird.
idea who Jason was or anything. And then old mate comes up, recognizes me. I'm like, I'm definitely the smallest person here. And I got recognized
That's brilliant. I
at
love
the
that.
front of the HSP shop with the VL there with Dave and Jace.
Yeah, it's weird how it happens.
It is strange.
It's like you can be in this situation. Like Jace we were at that car meet, and I was expecting Dave and Jace to be flocked. Even Zachary, not particularly. It was a bit more of an old school car meet, so I'm assuming a lot of them were my age and didn't have YouTube. But it was just weird. It was just weird.
Yeah, I think I got stopped maybe 3 times, 4 times, and that was about it. But that was when I was walking around by myself.
Taking photos of people
Yeah.
without their permission.
But no, like I don't think Jason got stopped. I don't think Dave got stopped. But it's kind of good.
I love seeing the Kipper Reap merch out and about.
I agree.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I probably sent that to them or
Yeah.
sold them it in some way or form.
That's weird. I have a very bad mindset where now that I work at Keep It Read, I feel like when I go to events, sort of everyone
Where are
knows
you
us.
going with this? I'm scared.
Well, now we go to events. I feel like did you get the same thing that because you're Adam Reed and you were living 4x4 and you're now with Keep It Read and people do see you on the videos, do you feel like you're like If you look at
social
it,
presence. Or
yeah,
something.
do you feel like your social presence is much heightened because you're at Keep It Read?
I don't know. I get stopped a lot at the events.
So is Zach.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Zach, come help me pack up. And then he's off there like, my YouTube channel. And I'm like,
I don't talk. It's the people that talk to me. It's all the guys that
You
go,
gotta say- you gotta be polite.
God
see
damn
that guy over, that little short guy over there that looks angry at me? He needs me to help him.
I need to start doing that too, to be
Yeah.
honest.
You can blame it on me.
Yeah.
What do you mean by like social presence is heightened because of?
Because he's touching so many things that do YouTube. I'm
I
assuming
guess
like
so.
is the
I
idea
guess.
of it.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's not like I'm into videos or anything.
Yeah.
Keep
I
it
had a actual similar like exactly what you're saying. I had went to a family like lunch with Maggie's family, and one of the family members comes up to me like, "I saw you in that YouTube video," and my brain, because I'm Maggie and I've only been dating a little while, so I'm still trying to be nice and outgoing. People don't need to know I played Minecraft for 9 years straight. and he's like, "I saw you in that YouTube video." I'm like, oh no! Fuck, what one? We got, I'm in a lot of different people's videos. I've been around, and he's like, oh, the VL video. I'm like, oh, okay, not that bad, but still not peak me.
Yeah.
And that was what it was about. But I get it every now and then, like, oh, I saw you in that video, and I've got this like, don't know what video you're speaking about, like. We've been all around. Like if someone said, I saw you in that video, you don't have a clue what they're speaking
I got
about.
no idea really.
Yeah,
Part of
interesting.
us. But yeah, that's my dorky gamer adventure with Dave chat. I just really wanted to chat about it because I'm feeling games a lot.
Yeah.
It's like as I get stressed, my wanting to game goes up. That's my vibe. Like some people smoke, some people binge watch things. I've been watching a bit of Drive to Survive, but gaming's my thing. I just want to play like chill games.
Could we have a quick little 5-minute chat about F1?
Yeah, a quick little
one, just
about
so people...
about Drive to Survive. We won't stay on it too
No, not Drive to
long.
Survive. Testing.
You want Formula
Testing
1?
was on.
Yeah, right,
well,
go.
we're going
Go
to
on.
completely exclude Brenny
Yeah,
right
from
now.
this
Alright, go on.
conversation.
Can we just have a quick chat about how
Do you want me to leave?
No, yeah, actually, if you could, the door's right there. Fernando Alonso, El Plan is happening.
Yeah, actually.
Number 2. He is the second fastest at testing.
To be fair, I could sort of see it coming because towards the
Yeah.
end of last season, the Aston Martin was actually doing decent.
Yeah, and he personally as a driver was getting quick. He was always within the top 10.
Yeah, he was doing really well. Aston Martin was coming up the grid. Like they were consistent, like
Yeah.
17th and lower, like every race for like the first half of the season. But then they were getting like 7ths and 8ths, which is good. Just so you know, because there was like 3 top teams, so that's 6 drivers. They were always taking out the top
They're
6.
going for points, which
Yeah.
is what positions? Is that 7th?
1st to 10th.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I as you guys know, Drive to Survive this latest season has been very. If you come first, you win. And it's like,
You want to start pole because that means you're in
at the
front of everyone.
Yeah, things like that.
Oh my god.
Which they're leaning, and the drama they're leaning into
Just
way too much.
Lean into it.
But they pointed out that each pole, like each finishing position, can be anywhere from $5 to like $15 million for the company.
Ooh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
that really actually was a good point to bring up with someone newer to the sport, because I really was always confused when they were like, "Oh my god, we came 9th," and I'm like, "There's 9 more people in front of you," you know.
So there's what's called. So you got the drivers' championship. So that's
Yep.
the individual driver. Then there's the constructors' championship, which is the
team.
teams. So the higher you place at the end of the year as a team, the more money you get. Well, pretty much the more money you can charge sponsors. Really.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's basically what it is. But it varies drastically, like tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars different for like one place.
And that's what I don't think I got the scale of, because to me, it like, if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah,
like,
that's probably what kept me interested in F1 is because it's not really about who wins all the time. So like, say if some person's just annihilating it, like last season was Max Verstappen just smashing everything. So like he's just winning. It's boring because he just wins. It's the same with Lewis Hamilton, like back at when he was just winning all the time. So then you've got like basically it was Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes were just taking out like the top 6 all the time. So then there was like only 4 spots that people could get points, and you're talking very small amount of points.
They're interesting.
But that was in like the midfield last season was really interesting to me. That's what kept me like on the edge of my seat because the cars were constantly being developed and they were on a more similar fair playing field.
I like actually seeing the drivers like if someone's in a low finishing car and they place high a few times, like how quickly things move and
Exactly
again, like
right,
I'm like, whoo, it's really like you did good, you get rewarded. You did bad, bye.
Yeah.
Like that's
it's a dog eat dog world.
Yeah, that's harsh. Because like if you get out, it must be hard to come back into it.
Extremely.
Because you got hundreds of people probably eligible to try it. You've been tried.
Yeah,
you
when
know?
you like take it all down, there's 20 drivers in the whole world.
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
That's not many people.
Yeah, exactly.
So like to be in that
and
position,
the only
is
people that can
so
fill those
minuscule.
20 shoes is the 20 F2 drivers.
Guys,
And then
I
the
wanna
20
make it
F3,
dorky again.
F3, what am I trying to say?
So they race Sims, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How comparable are the Sims? Like, are people playing Sims and getting good enough to
They
actually
have
hop in a car?
multi-million-dollar setups.
Yeah, they have like insane, like ginormous screens and stuff,
Yeah.
like at the facilities. But then
That's
like
cool.
they all do sim racing nowadays back at home. But
Yeah.
there is sim races that beat them in certain things.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Because they know the
Another thing
the
that's come
tactics
far.
of the game. Basically, you know the physics of the game better than you know the physics of the car.
10 years ago when you guys were 8, that's, it goes both ways.
Actually, no, I was 14. Sorry, continue.
Oh, yeah, weird flex.
Is that weird? Yeah.
Were you 35?
Yeah, yeah. No, it was funny because like it used to be so like cringy to have like a wheel set up,
It did. And now it's like the cool thing.
and
to
now
have.
it's like, oh, you have a sim? Like I've had mates over, and I'm sitting there watching. Like I'll give them the longest turn of it. I'm sitting there like, are you gonna let me play my game? Like, I want a shot too.
I've noticed it actually. You invite people over and you're like, all right, I'll do 2 laps and then you do 2
Yeah.
laps.
Well,
And
yeah,
it's like-
because people like me don't have the luxury of just jumping on and
So
having a
can
go.
you explain why people like you are so fucking greedy?
You're in my house at the moment, so just calm down a
Yeah,
little bit.
fair point. Adam charges us for water. I'm on rations.
I was thinking of upping the rent to a bottle of milk a week.
That's fair enough.
We do drink a lot
We
of
do
coffee.
drink lots of coffee, so yeah, that's fair. But
No, there's
Yeah,
no
no, I
rent.
do
There's
agree.
no rent.
yeah, but why do people like yourself like to just live on sim setups at other people's houses?
Well,
It's a toy
I
that they don't
don't,
get to
but
play
you
with.
come around,
No.
you're like, oh, this is so cool. Like, it's so different.
I don't come around and play with your lightsaber collection if you have one.
Well, that's
Well,
what?
What? You've literally gone, hey, there's
You've
this
come
game.
over and played with my butt plugs all the time.
And you take them for hours.
Yeah. You never give them back.
Take him home. I don't know, because you just come around and like you could go home and play it.
Yeah.
So just stop complaining when you go, hey, come over and play the sim. And
I
then we
was,
play it more than you, and you're like, oh, I want to play the sim.
I was a pretty spoiled.
Play whatever you want.
I was a pretty spoiled little lad, so I had all the latest consoles and whatnot. It was like my mum's like favorite thing was to just go way overboard with Christmas for me, put herself in financial situations just so I had like the coolest shit. But yeah, then that became that friend that like I have like super fond memories of being like 14 and I had a like little couch in my room and like 4 of my mates just sitting there all playing Need for Speed.
Wait, were
like,
you allowed a
Blast.
TV in your room?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. My mum bought me a sound system that was like better than any one we had in the house.
Yeah.
And so it would be like playing Get Low.
No.
Blast Get Low. It was like playing car games, drifting in Need for Speed Carbon. Ooh,
Yeah.
the vibe was definitely a good vibe.
Did you have a TV in your room?
Not in my room, no.
Were you allowed?
No.
Okay, neither.
That
That's
was always
crazy.
so weird to me. I had friends like that like weren't allowed to have the TV in their room.
Yeah,
And it was-
because
all that ended up doing
Well, I
is have
can't
them
afford to
being
get another TV to put in my room either.
What
But
did-
like I had like a whole other room that had couches and everything that had a separate TV, so there was not any
Yeah,
point.
so I didn't
Ah.
have
There's
that.
no point for me to put one in my room.
yeah, we had one TV.
I got a TV pretty
family
quickly.
TV, and
yeah,
that was it.
the family TV was quickly hogged by me watching cartoons. And so my family was like, yeah, we're going to get him a TV because I'm sick of watching wacky races and crap like that. And I used to just sit there and draw. I was super into drawing as a young lad. It's one of those skills like violin that I wish I still had. Like you probably wish you could still play violin.
Oh no, I definitely can't. I definitely can't.
Yeah, no, I wish it was something I stayed interested in, but I stopped. You guys have weird little skills as young lads that you don't do anymore. I know you're rather aquatic.
I love that one.
Dolphin-looking motherfucker.
I still have those skills.
He's like,
Yeah.
I forgot how to swim now.
We go swimming with Zach. Adam, he's like, oh, you do forget.
I don't know.
All right, goodbye. Yeah.
I was quite a sporty lad. Like I had like a ripstick and skateboards and scooters, and so I could do all of it a little bit more than the average person.
I
And
used
so
to
that
ride
was a
bikes,
vibe.
didn't you? Can you still
Yeah.
ride bikes?
Oh, could you
Oh,
guys
I
do
can
flips? Could you ever do a flip? That was like my
I was never
dream.
that full on into it.
Yeah.
I sort of just like went with people and just
Yeah.
like hung out instead of
And
doing
filmed
it at
them.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and film it.
Yeah.
And take photos and stuff.
Best stroke I could do was a 360 tail whip on my scooter. I never did flips.
Wait, does that mean you spin in a 360 while doing a tail whip?
Correct, yeah.
I'm gonna have to see that
Ooh.
on the table.
On the table, right, yeah, right now. No, I have to find a video of it, but
No,
Yeah,
I don't
no.
want to see a video. I want to see
oh,
try it now.
Now?
With those weak knees now, you're getting a bit older.
That would be a very fun YouTube video, I think, is if we all went back and looked at the first videos on our channels.
Oh, you
And
guys
go
are gonna be
back and
stoked
see-
to watch me play Minecraft.
Oh, that would be another amazing
His first
challenge.
video is like 6 hours of
Our
Minecraft.
first videos that we ever created, we have to go out and we have to recreate them as best as we can. That would be a lot of fun, actually.
I'm trying to
My
think
old
what
game,
the
I'm
first
trying to
one
think
of
of
mine.
like, I've not done much real content that like IRL content. I'm out of this.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to film it.
Rebuild the Minecraft castle.
Ooh,
Can he
riveting,
do it?
riveting, riveting
So
stuff.
here you'll see I'm making a cobblestone generator.
You have
Bang
to win
on.
another Hunger Games, I reckon.
But I never won. I always lost. All the videos that went better for some reason.
Oh, yeah,
Probably
fair
because I
enough.
got angry.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, no, that's very cool. But no, that's cool. You had a TV in your room and you had all your friends
Yeah,
come over
weird
and play
flex.
with it. Yeah, that's cool. I remember there
very
was
fond
one friend I
memories.
had that he had a pet snake. He had a pet eel as well, which was pretty cool.
Wait.
Sorry, an eel is so much weirder.
Yeah,
no, and-
I mean, snakes, I sort of understand.
The
snakes.
eel was only 3 centimeters long. It was a tiny little thing that
a tadpole.
not a tadpole.
That was a tadpole, mate.
It was,
So it
it's
wasn't
cool.
like a worm or.
No, it was like a little sucker thing that kind of like little bottom
Wait,
feeder.
was it like eels are in the water? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a little fish tank thing.
Eels are in the water.
Well, I've only been fishing once and I caught an eel. And
Eels
no,
are
mate.
fucking weird.
it went on the ground and was like
Yeah, this was a land eel.
Sea snakes.
sea snake.
So weird.
Yeah, I
So
don't like
he's so
them.
aquatic. He probably punches
Yeah.
them out of the way.
We
Keeps going.
used to like go fishing in the high country and catch eels.
Fishing
they-
in the
How do you
They
fish
put
in the
how
high
does
country?
water get up
in
there?
the rivers. Oh my
In the
god,
high
there's
country?
rivers in mountains.
What?
I don't believe that.
I don't
I'm
believe
gonna
that
have
either.
to see it to believe it.
There's water in the high country. Would have thought it's only in the low country.
Anyway.
But whatever.
Hey,
Continue.
No, I'm done.
All right, sorry.
You've upset me.
Continue, Brony.
It sounded a bit more animal
You've
abuse
upset me.
anyway.
It did actually.
I don't know
sorry.
where I was. I went to gaming and then I was like, ooh, fond memories of being a kid and having I could draw and was quite.
You know, so
sporty.
and then I talked about the friend that had an eel.
Yeah, so you go, Zachary.
Yeah.
Tell us about your weird friend.
Oh no, I mean as in he had a TV in his room and I would go in there and I would play Halo CE on his Xbox 360.
What is CE?
Oh, sorry, no, that was the cracked version I had on my
Oh.
computer.
I'm like, I've never heard of this.
No, just regular.
Crack edition.
That's what, hey,
I'm pretty sure it was actually too. It was something like
that's
that.
too funny.
Yeah. Did you ever do that thing at school? I don't know. You're probably really old, so you probably didn't have laptops at school. But
we
you used
didn't
to,
actually.
Yeah, there you go. Did you used to sit in the back of your class and play like Halo?
Yeah,
or,
all the time.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, 100%.
Wow, that is like you are giving me insight to like an area I didn't see because I have younger siblings, so like
Yeah.
I saw when iPads and shits
Yeah.
were just normal school curriculum.
I feel like we lived in the golden era of school, to be honest, because there wasn't
Pretty
essays.
good. Yeah, there was no
And we were the first ones to have computers, so if you knew how to work
the
around
laptop trolleys.
yeah, exactly
Oh,
right.
we had that. We had that towards the end. Yeah.
Yeah, so someone found out you could actually put Halo on the drive, and then you could just open up an exe file, and it would basically
Install
load
on
it.
Yeah.
Well, it would load it from the drive, so it would be fine. So you could log onto any school laptop, jump straight onto Halo.
Yeah,
within
they did
2
that at my
seconds.
school too.
We did that with
Yeah.
CS.
Oh, it was CS.
I was never
Counter Strike Source.
Yeah, we had
yeah.
a teacher that would let us like go into the computer room at lunchtime.
And play
And
gun
we'd
games.
all play bloody Counter Strike. It's the only time I wasn't actually an FPS guy. Like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really do gun games. VR gun games are fire though. Like you're like dropping the mag, trying to fix.
I really want to try it. I've seen
Yeah.
a few funny videos
They're
of it.
so funny.
But
good fun.
yeah, no, it was cool. I feel like, we lived in the golden age where, no essays. We had teachers that didn't know too much about laptops, but we all kind of did. And there was always that one smart nerd kid that could always tell us how to load Halo and
Literally.
start our own servers. And
He was that kid. No,
I definitely
Trying
wasn't
to lie
that
with
kid.
his
No,
CE edition.
I definitely wasn't that kid. But
So you just install Halo CE. What does
Yeah.
that stand for?
I don't know. Sure, yeah. It was just, it was HaloCE.exe. That's what you would open up. So I've always just called it Halo CE. I don't know. That's just me though.
It
I wouldn't have a
legit
clue.
probably is cracked.
Probably is
It probably is
cracked
crack edition. Yeah.
This was all before he was of age to go to jail
Yes,
for the rest of
exactly
his
right.
life.
Yeah.
He's now eligible though and admitted it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I
Thank you.
I'll
definitely
flick you
paid for
his
Sony
details.
Vegas for the last couple of years. I
Yeah,
promise.
This
yeah.
guy.
bro, Sony Vegas is such a the Sony Vegas is an editing program for editing videos, by the
Yeah.
way. And Zachary and I have both had fond memories with it.
Mm-hmm.
And they scam you into paying for that by making you email them to cancel your subscription.
I still haven't done that yet.
Yeah. I had the same thing because I was
Yeah.
like, I looked into cancelling it one day. I'm like, could I email them? I'll get to that. And then
Yeah.
you get another message, your subscription is renewed. And you're like, damn it.
I may as well have it for another month.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's no point.
Well, you do now because you paid for it.
Yeah, I know.
9 years later, Zachary's still subscribed.
Zachary's heavily invested in Sony.
Heavily invested in Sony Vegas. I will admit though, I've paid maybe $100 so far in monthly subscriptions, and that's not bad for 12 years of use.
Yeah, because the previous ones were Sony Vegas
Well,
CE.exe.
Yeah, so far I've paid $0 for DaVinci. So,
Yeah, we get it through work though, so it's all right.
but I didn't need it.
Yeah, you
Didn't
get the
need-
free.
didn't need
Oh,
the-
yeah, and it's
didn't-
free
didn't
anyway.
need
It's
that
free.
paid version.
yeah, exactly.
Shout out DaVinci.
Yeah, we love
Pretty
DaVinci.
good, pretty good.
Yeah,
Don't really use it because it confuses me.
yeah.
But that's just a me thing. Don't play
Nah,
footsies
nah.
with
Wait,
me.
stop touching my foot.
Bro, my legs are backwards. How are your legs touching my... You're legit...
Because we sit on the world's worst chairs.
Yeah, fair point, fair point.
They're
Please buy
WWE
a sticker.
SmackDown
Please buy a
chairs.
sticker.
Please buy a sticker. We need chairs.
I'm actually not joking. I saw a WWE SmackDown chair sitting beside a power pole this morning, driving to work in Berwick.
And
I
you
was actually,
shivered.
I was actually, I was thinking about going to go pick it up because I'm like, well, we're in dire need of
Fourth
these. Right
podcast chair.
now. If I actually see it on my way home, I will pick it up.
Please
100%.
don't.
Please
have
don't. There's one
We have a
literally right there.
SmackDown right there.
Well,
we have 4.
I never
for
know
our
if we're going to have
guests.
2 guests. That might be fun.
We don't have enough mics.
Don't have
Oh.
enough ports to be able to do that.
Oh, okay.
Our max, we have another guest. One of us has to dip. Like,
Oh, that's funny.
we
Yeah.
rock, paper, scissors for the guest.
So this podcast is being recorded the week of the first race week of Formula One. Sorry to bring it back around to Formula One, but
No,
I
keep
wanted
it.
to get in
I was
before.
fine with that. I interrupted it.
I wanted to get in before there was a real race happening. What is your 2023 predictions?
2023, Max Verstappen, I reckon,
Yeah,
will
I mean,
take
that's-
out the Drivers' Championship. I also think that Checo will be very high up there because it's Checo and he's probably the second best driver on the grid. Well, probably not the second best driver, but he's in the best car. And the car is what probably makes them at the moment. I feel like Alonso is going to be really good this year. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Ferrari yet because I still feel like their strategists are still going to be lingering.
They are under new management now. Though.
They are.
Did you guys see that clip my friend sent me that I sent you guys?
Yeah,
today?
so
Yes,
good.
the end of it,
So
and
good.
like the final lap. do Operation F for fuck up.
Literally.
Now pitting.
Literally. It's the
It's the last lap.
Literally. So who knows? That's something I'm interested to see how much Ferrari changes.
I agree.
Because of the new leadership. Basically,
I'm not
Alfa
following
Romeo.
it enough. I need to follow it better.
Basically,
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Are you watching
Alfa
the first race
Romeo.
with us? Surely.
When's that?
Next weekend.
It's this Sunday coming.
This Sunday coming, sorry, yeah.
I could make that happen. When?
Oh, it's at a terrible time.
Probably like
At a terrible
3
time.
in the
It's at 2
morning
in
or
the
something.
morning.
I've changed my mind. I cannot make that happen. I'll watch it on Vimeo.
So Alfa Romeo is the sister team of Ferrari.
Yep.
So the guy who was in charge of Alfa Romeo is now been promoted to Ferrari. Is a simple way of putting it.
Yep.
So and everyone seems to like him, like because all the drivers stuff come up through Alfa Romeo and all that sort of stuff, like in the more I would say grassroots, but it's not really grassroots, but the lower end of Formula One, which is like F2 and F3.
And they're now a decent mid-tier team, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're strong.
So it'll be interesting to see what Ferrari do this year. I feel like their car hasn't improved enough to be competitive to Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Red Bull's going to be a clean sweep, which is annoying. It's obviously better when there's a competition up the front. Even for like second place in the constructors, at least something like that. But who knows? I feel like Alfa Romeo is going to be a very good middle team. It'd be nice to see Bottas get on a podium in Alfa Romeo. That would be cool.
I just want to
Question
I just
for
want to
you
do that for
two.
Mercedes.
Yeah.
Just to be a big
That
fuck
would be
you.
cool.
Question for the F1 nerds.
Yeah,
As a non-F1 nerd, how much do you think it relies on the car?
a lot.
A lot.
Like, do you
Yeah,
think you
massively.
could put some of these lower drivers that are aggressive and just not got the car, and you could put them in a Red Bull and they
With
could
enough time,
take
yeah.
a few wins?
100%.
Yeah, they could probably take a few wins. They wouldn't be as consistent as a good driver in a good car.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're still all very good drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like some cars are just so much faster in the straight, so much better through the corners and everything than other cars. But like you take, say, Sebastian Vettel last year, terrible car, managed towards the end to semi-decently in it. In it. But then again, Lance Stroll was not that far behind him.
Exactly
really.
right, yeah.
So it's hard to say. So that's like a 4-time world champion. And then the other guy, has he won a race? Yeah.
Lance Stroll.
Yeah.
I think he's
won one.
won
How-
once.
Is Mick
He's won the
Schumacher still in
Canadian
it?
one. He's won the Canadian one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mick Schumacher.
Is
He's
he
not
still
in
in-
it. Nah.
Because he like
He got
dipped.
dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
What do you think it was like? He was just living in his father's shadow, or not up for it?
He was with Haas
Wrong
and
cars,
he
it
was
could be
he
so
was
many
waiting
things.
for Ferrari. He was a Ferrari sort of like up and coming driver, but he just didn't meet like Ferrari has Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, and none of those drivers are in a position where you want to get rid of them right now.
Yeah.
There was no room for him to move up.
Yeah.
He was in a low tier team and he
And he
wasn't getting
was-
results
yeah.
and the team doesn't have a lot of money. Well, they didn't back.
Do you think
then.
he'll come back?
I think he'll.
I'm pretty good
I
at
think
playing
he'll-
the newbie question.
I think
game.
he will.
I like it. Yeah.
I think he will because he's now a reserve driver for Mercedes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's a very good position for him to be in.
Exactly right.
Like,
Kind of like how it's a good position for Ricciardo to go back to Red Bull and then be the backup driver for now.
because that's
Potentially
like,
who could get...
that's like still
replaced
being in the
or-
F1
yeah.
world without racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're still there.
You still, yeah.
And then like if any of the sister teams that haven't brought their reserve driver to a race and they need one, then you jump in there.
I'm gonna do a quiz for you guys one day. I've thought about it multiple times now. I reckon I could do it. Like, just
I don't
come
know.
up.
Like I haven't really been in F1 that much, but I'm just so
Would you
interested. In it,
rather
but I
a
just like
quiz?
absorbing.
Yeah.
All the
Would you
facts
rather
and
a
everything.
quiz or questions?
I like questions.
Like
Questions?
a quiz as in knowledge, or questions as in like just
Questions?
picture random rules?
Because it'd
and
be
crap.
fun on the
A bit of
podcast
both.
if we can't Google things. Like
Yeah,
questions
yeah.
would be
No,
fun
no,
because we'd
that's
probably
why I have
fuck
thought
everything
about
up.
it before. I'll have
Yeah,
to do
a
it
bit
for
of
you
both.
guys.
Yeah.
No studying though.
I really hope that Schumacher gets he will get a drive in a Ferrari this year, but I hope he
Yeah.
gets at least like maybe like a little bit of a race or a qualifying or something along those lines where he's needed. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think he showed a lot of good stuff
I agree.
last year. He had a lot of crashes too.
He cost him a lot of money.
Yeah, because he had a lot of like big crashes.
You know what I like? not once have I seen a crash happen and they get angry about the crash. It's always straight to the drivers, straight. Like in such a cutthroat industry, I expect like them to not care as much. Like, oh, he'll be right. You know, I expected that, but I haven't seen that yet. It's straight up drivers the most important health wise.
Yeah, well,
Which you'd
that's
expect,
because like there's been a lot of deaths in Formula One.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not
not
know about
in the
this.
recent era,
Yeah.
but
The Halos.
previously when the safety wasn't as high of a concern, there has been a fair
There's
few.
some like surprising crashes that they just like
Walk
get up
away
and walk
from.
away from.
Mate,
Blows my mind.
Right now, like they
The
so
safest.
safe.
Yeah.
Like still like
It's like,
anything
so
can happen.
much safer.
But like the stuff that we've seen with these new safety regulations, and
Yeah.
for them to just walk out of the car,
The fact
is
that
crazy.
Romain Grosjean did not get decapitated when he went under that wall
Yeah.
in was it Saudi Arabia? Was
How
it?
the hell do you remember that name? Roman who?
Grosjean.
Because he had like one of the
he had one of the
biggest
biggest
crashes
crashes in Formula One history.
Formula One.
and
Like the
walked
whole
out.
car went up in flames. It was split in half.
You would
and
have
he
seen this
walked
on
out of
season
it.
1 of Drive to Survive, the
Yeah.
very last episode.
Wait, is this the Man on Fire guy?
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like how do
Yeah.
you just walk
See
out
how I
of
don't
that?
remember his name?
Yeah.
How do you just walk out of that? And then last season,
He got
Joe,
a burnt hand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he got
Joe
burnt hand.
Granew's
Joe Granew
crash.
was like
Yeah.
200 kilometers per hour on his roof for a whole straight. Well,
Oh, the
like on his
spinning?
head, spinning on the actual
Yeah.
whole straight, and then flipped.
Watch that episode.
Did you
Flipped
see
into
the
like,
divot
and then
in
he
the road?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then like
Blows my
there's
mind.
not
to think,
that many
like, how
sports that you
those
could
would
just
be.
walk away from that.
Exactly right.
Imagine not having like the halos, like in that situation, just gone.
I remember seeing a TikTok, and it's like how many drivers we could have potentially lost
Yeah.
if we didn't have the halo.
and there's almost like 20 of them. Or
There was a
something like
lot
that.
of them,
Just
and
the
that-
whole
Yeah,
field.
the whole
but like it
field.
was like big names like Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, because like
Yeah.
he literally
wheels
had
in
a
the head.
wheel sitting on
Yeah.
top of his halo.
Exactly right.
Like that would have been gone like 100%.
Yeah.
Wonder what the like what the structure of it is like. Like, is that just like a titanium one piece or?
I don't even
car?
know what it's
I don't
made
know.
out
Like,
of.
I would love to know what.
I don't want to say something wrong, but I feel
Yeah.
like it is very, very heavy
Go for it.
carbon.
Say something wrong. It's a little bit in. People won't know.
It's definitely made of carbon fiber with
Carbon
something else
fibre?
in it. Yeah.
So the whole F1 coming back has me going down YouTube rabbit holes, and I started watching some guy, not super interesting, honestly. So I won't name drop him, even if I could. But he bought an F1 car, and he was like, it was like a demo car, so it was all just like placeholder shit instead of the engine and stuff. But he pulled it apart, and he's like, this is where the engine would go, building this structure. And it's really interesting to see that they're like, oh, this half of the car is kind of the engine. That's what holds it all together.
Yeah.
I wish there was more insight to that, but I assume
Yeah.
there isn't because people don't want to give
Yeah.
away their secrets and whatever's under there.
I will say like there is probably a few people listening that go, oh, Formula One, I'm so over it.
That's why I think I'm good.
Give it a shot because there is
Yeah,
like
I agree.
there's so much more than just racing a car. Especially the whole history.
I dare
there
say-
was 6-wheel Formula One cars.
Yeah.
That might just blow your mind.
The fan car was
The
so
fan car.
cool.
Fan.
Yeah.
So
You have to
there's-
look up on YouTube the weirdest F1 cars there ever was and how they got around some of the rules, and you'll find some weird F1
Yeah.
I
cars.
it's
actually
crazy.
am
Yeah.
keen to watch that.
Um,
but yeah, not wrong. Like,
like
Maggie
this-
and I watched it, like Drive to Survive, and it's got Maggie keen on it. And
Yeah, like
if the
seriously,
races were at a normal time, I'd be keen.
like as much as Drive to Survive is annoying as fuck.
It's so good for the
Just
scene.
yeah, it's good to get
Yeah.
you in, but then once you get past all that bullshit, then
Yeah.
like once you follow everything and figure it all out,
I think
it's
all-
really interesting.
Like, I think drifting needs a Drive to Survive. Drifting needs something
Oh,
that's
100%.
explaining, like, this is an outer clipping point. When you're near it, you're doing good. They need
Yeah.
that because
Yeah,
it
it
is
does.
such a...
When you're the lead driver, you're the car in front.
Yeah. When you're the chase driver, you're the car at the back.
when you score the most points, you qualify first.
Yeah. They literally need that because, like, especially when I got into drifting, it was like, I'm going to drive 3 hours away into a dry ass day of no waters, sunscreen, shade, anything. Like, there's not welcoming. I'm sure four-wheel driving's the same. I'm sure grip racing's similar. It does probably have the longest heritage.
Yeah.
Drifting needs something to make it not seem like you're just doing skids.
Yeah.
It needs something to like be informative.
I
People
feel
learn
like
about
YouTubers
it.
have made that happen though.
Yeah, but not
I feel like
like
drifting is
I don't
only
think
popular
it
because of
was-
YouTube
I think-
right now.
I think it doesn't hit the mainstream audience.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
people that watch drifting on YouTube are already interested in drifting. I don't think it's bringing as many new people. Whereas I think Drive to Survive,
Yeah.
put a
Drive to
car
Survive has
thing
like
in front of-
exploded Formula One.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would like to see something similar in drifting. I can't remember who I was speaking to this about the other day. It might have been when we went to dinner, but how drifting's a judged sport.
Yeah,
And it does it dirty.
That's something that I've always said about drifting. Like the fact that it is a judge sport makes it
I would
really
like to
hard.
see more of that Red Bull thing.
Yeah, I was going to say apparently Red Bull is super keen on drifting, but they hate that it's a judge sport and they won't get on board unless they figure out a way to make it a non-judge sport. So they're designing all these like sensors
Pinball
and like
thing.
pinball,
They do a pinball thing, yeah.
pinball thing, and apparently like it works 90% of the time, but so it's not reliable enough.
But that's so cool to me. The idea of like you imagine like running the wall at our local track. At our local track we have a big U-shape wall and you run it, and like imagine as you go around that the wall like has a light that lights up like
That'd be
green if you're
so
really close,
cool.
yellow,
Yeah,
red.
if
that'd
they
be
can make
wicked.
that successful and make it a thing, that's when drifting has the next potential to step up.
Yeah, and it's so much more visual.
Yeah.
You literally green, he did good. You know, you could like anyone could watch it and understand. You
I
know,
want to say something very controversial real quick.
drifting's not a sport.
No. I don't like watching drifting because there's so much downtime.
Really?
I hate it.
I found it's the lower downtime to the things I have seen.
So especially watching Formula Drift America, I was
Oh,
following.
no, I don't watch that.
Yeah, I was following Adam, and like I wanted to go watch what he was doing, but I can't get over the fact that drifting competitions can take up to like 4.5 hours sometimes, and you get 20 seconds of a lap, and it's really, really cool. But then you have like a minute's worth of downtime when they get back, and then another 20 seconds worth of downtime, like of actual time, and then
I like
5 minutes. And
watching drifting with mates because they do a lap, then they show all the replays, and you're like debating about who won, and like, no, they did good here, but then
saying
they
that
did
now,
good
yeah,
there.
us watching Jace over in New Zealand
That's
has been
why I like
really, really
getting
cool.
everyone around
Yeah.
here for D1 and Z because Jason's in D1 and Z, so it's cool to see like Jason there. It's also fun to be debating on every battle about certain
I
things.
pride myself in how accurately I call the wins.
Yeah,
I love it. I remember, as you guys know, my mate Nathan drifts, and he used to do the competition series for Vic Drift, and like his mum would be like, "How do you go? How do you go?" and like get me to gauge it by like actually honestly, because obviously it's her son, so she's like, "He did good. I'm proud of him. You know, he's back in one piece."
Yeah.
But I'd be like, he bobbled a bit, so you know it's looking close or whatever. And that I always took a lot of pride in that, and I get the same vibes with Jace. Like I watch Jace, and I'm like, you just back it so much more when you like got someone in it.
So another controversial topic then. If you want to take away from the judged sportness of this sport and you want to have your mates over and you're all like debating on whether the judges are going to call like the correct thing, do you feel like taking away the fact that it's judged will now make it not as enjoyable for you to watch?
It would just make it clearer.
Okay.
And it would be faster
Well, they could
because
do
that
the
downtime
sport,
that you're
so-
talking about is the judges debating on who won.
Okay.
That's why there's so much downtime.
And then like you could like they could still reveal it in a cool way. So like because it like from people that follow drifting, you can tell someone's win if it's clear anyway.
Yeah.
But if it's close, like imagine the wall lights up green for both of them, and you're like, but who was closer? And they can reveal that at the end. You know?
Yeah, very true.
And you still get that. But no, that's a really cool point. You know that I love the grassroots side of it anyway. You know?
I think it would help more people to get into it because obviously to be like debating about it and stuff, you need to somewhat know what you're looking at. Like I'm not a drifter, but I work at a drift company. So I've been to my fair share of comps and everything. And like I'm in the live stream, like doing the live stream, like at Battle Royale next to the judges. So you're hearing them talk about everything. So
we
I've
found
come to
all
pick
the
up,
decisions before.
pick up like what they're looking for and that sort of stuff.
Speaking of that, Battle Royale. I was on driver sign-in. so many drivers watch the podcast. Shout
Really?
Out. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Shout out everyone.
Shout out Age. You're probably falling asleep listening to this. He's like, bro, I can't get through the first episode. I put you guys on at night and then I keep falling asleep.
He'll hear this in like
and he'll
6 to 8
backtrack.
business weeks.
Yeah. So like he'll go back to where he remembers leaving off and then fall back asleep. And yeah.
He's getting through it slowly. He's doing a good job.
I found that so funny, and I was
Yeah.
just so shocked to be like, because this is my second time doing driver sign in, so I'm still like newbie at it. For example, I was meant to give people numbers, but I didn't know that. So like I get 4 in, and then I find this stack of numbers, and I'm like, I reckon I have to give these to people, and that's when I started doing it.
Yeah.
Sorry, lads. But yeah, it was really cool.
No, it was cool. Appreciate
That's
all the
cool.
drivers
That's
that are
cool.
listening right now. Appreciate everyone that's listening right now.
Zachary taking photos of them all. I'm sure he copped it too, but yeah.
Yeah, I mainly copped the sun. Everyone getting out and going, Jesus, bright. Yeah, I think that's about it.
They
Yeah,
probably couldn't see that you're Zachary from the WUC.
exactly right.
And you don't give a WUC about the sun.
That's really cool.
no.
That's really cool.
So
It's
I
very
had
cool.
a question for you guys. What motorsport would you guys like to try?
Drifting.
Drifting? I knew you were going to give that. It's such a boring answer, but we're all from different realms.
Yeah.
What one would you most like to try? What one?
Actually, I would really like to try rally.
I 100% agree with you.
I want
Scares
to.
the shit
I'm
out of
so
me.
scared.
But it would be so cool.
Yeah. I don't know
yeah.
how you get into rally. Do you just crash a whole bunch of times
no
and then
idea.
realize,
You get your
oh,
Subaru, you go to...
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, no.
Okay, so...
I still
Drifting?
think drifting though. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because it's more accessible. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think any of us know properly how to try rallying.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And it's
like,
like I'm surrounded by it. It's just like I just
Yeah.
want to want to do it at least
you have to
once.
tell me, bro, I got a car 90% done sitting in a garage, and I'm just like, stop being lazy, fix it.
Yeah.
It's more like I want to know, like, if I can pick something up.
Have you done anything similar?
Nah, literally
Yeah,
nothing. Like
'cause,
I don't know. I'm a very visual learner. So like, if I'm in the car with someone, I'm like fully paying attention to everything that they're doing, and I feel like I learn from that very easily.
I am not. I have to sit there and try, which makes me take so much longer. I can take tips and advice, but like if I watch you, it's like I'm not absorbing enough because I went backwards. Like as I learnt more to drift, I found myself being able to watch and absorb what people were doing. Whereas before that, I was like, I wasn't like, oh, they're handbraking in between that like mungie or whatever. I didn't notice things like that. But
Like
yeah.
I'm not saying by any means I'll be any form of good, but I'm just like wondering
You're around it
wondering
enough,
if
you'd
I
think
could get
you
in
could.
it and like have a small idea. I don't know, like because I don't know.
I have a video idea that I've wanted to do for years, and I think it could be a cool idea for us. I've always wanted to do the sim racer learning to drift versus the non-sim racer, hence you.
Yep.
And then, for example, maybe Maggie, I get her doing an hour a day on the sim to get competent. And then we put you in a car and, like, obviously there's the more leniency of you being around it so much. So you've got that, but she's also got fake experience. I love seeing how I've seen it firsthand. My mate had hundreds of hours in Assetto.
Yeah.
Went out, didn't spin once on his first ever drift
Wow,
day.
yeah, right.
It
It would definitely help. 100%.
it teaches you so much things. It lets you test things like, can you pull a handbrake now? Bang! Oh no! All right. No one's gonna whip their car against a wall and be like, I'm gonna try something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely. I love. I would love to watch you drift for the first time. Like I've offered my car for motorcarnas and stuff because like the feeling of like the car. I always explained it to people as like drift mode. That feeling where like the car's no longer like.
Oh, it's
like
amazing.
flowing.
Yeah.
It's just the car's the way the car works becomes different once you start drifting.
Yeah.
And I think
It's
that's
such
really
a good
cool.
feeling. It's such a good feeling.
Yeah, I just want to do the drift school at Keep It Rate, to be honest.
Well, you have to sign up, and I'll teach you. I'm going to teach you so bad.
Yeah, you're gonna teach me how to just put
You
it
do
in a
drift.
wall.
Oh, I want to say you could do drift school in my Sylvia, but you break my Sylvia. Man. Just to see you like walking back to the little pit area where I'm selling merch and helping people out, and I'm just like, "Where's my car?"
Jason did say something about the AU Ute.
Not a bad idea.
at one point.
Yeah. Just got to get on him about it. Jace, come on, mate. We know you listen to every episode. You're
Trying to grow the sport here.
Trying to grow the sport.
You know, Jace
here.
has been asking when he's coming on. He keeps asking me all the
You're
time.
not coming on the podcast.
No.
You don't understand, Zach. He'll put you in a situation you can't answer on our own podcast.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. We'll have to have him on.
Jason,
He can come
very
on.
quick and witty. I wouldn't mind him coming
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I just I know
It'd be funny.
Zach seems to be like
It's
he's gonna
nice
be
to help
bantering, and
out.
I know Jason's gonna bah, bah, bah.
It's nice to help out smaller creators from time to time,
yeah.
isn't it?
You
To have
got to give the smaller guys.
yeah,
a
you got to
shot.
give the smaller guys a chance at the moment.
That's all. Zach.
By the time this podcast comes out, he will be bigger than me. But at this current point in time, keep it rated smaller than I.
No,
am.
you don't know. Podcast's going to explode you.
Oh yes, I forgot about
Well, this wall, 100K plugs. Brenny Beast, 1 million. Adam Reet, Zachary, Wuck. Okay,
then-
how about you,
that.
Zachary?
Mechanic.
Mechanic.
I've thought about, I don't know if I've told you guys, but I'm actually a qualified mechanic.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
thought about
Oh.
hanging it up.
Yeah, do it.
Because,
Yeah, you should. It'd be fun.
you know, we could put my YouTube plug there in between. You guys can bring your
Can we put your YouTube plug there and we'll just like get a Sharpie and cross
Do you
out.
have any diplomas or anything?
Right, walk.
No. So you can reorder them. Surely I just changed my YouTube channel name to WashedUpClub. Reorder the plug.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
Do you have
We're
a diploma
established.
or anything like a
Nah.
certificate of something?
No.
I don't even have
Wow.
a pen license.
I have
bro.
a diploma of film and television. I can bring it. We can just put it there.
Don't believe.
Really?
Someone that's like, where's my shoe, man? Every podcast is looking for something. They
Adam,
mustn't
do
teach
you have
to
an
be
SD card?
Yeah, they mustn't teach you
Jai,
to be
can I borrow your
organised.
LEDs? Every
Do you
time.
reckon we just fill up this entire wall with our achievements?
Oh, it's going to be hard to fill up, bro. We'll have to print my mechanic apprenticeship like really
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you,
what,
Zachary?
Adam, what can you bring to it, real quick?
The wall.
Yeah.
He was supplying
He
the wall.
covered large art diploma.
Yeah.
This one, he was very angry.
Yeah.
It's a very aggressive painting, isn't
What
it?
what sport mode of sport?
So
would you like to give a crack?
I've already kind of done it, but it was in a weird way. But I would love to do door-to-door racing, like proper.
Because you did the what was it?
Yeah, I did the budget enduro, and it
Yeah.
was good fun. But it was very like, I don't know. Door to door was very, very easy because you weren't
Sort of more like who can last, like make it through
It
it,
was-
rather
yeah.
than who's going to finish first.
exactly
that-
right. It kind of doesn't make sense when you are
Trying
doing
to
an
limit your
hour
time.
and then you're trying to beat your time, but also not go.
People that don't
faster
know,
than a time.
Zachary went to a budget enduro, so you have to do 145 laps.
Yeah, 135 laps at Sandown, which
If you go
in that car
faster
that we
than
had
that, it
was
doesn't-
pretty straightforward.
It doesn't count as a budget car feasible lap. does it?
Correct. Yeah,
Yes.
correct. So they put the laps in place so that way you didn't have a car that's faster than anyone else's. But
Yeah.
it became an issue where we were going too fast to the point where we would have to slow down.
Yeah.
And I don't really see the point in that. It was more so just me trying to work on my consistency.
As a big Zachary fan, I did enjoy watching you learn. Like, I can't be slowing down at these points. I have to be gassing at these points, but I need to cut speed at these points to make that
Yeah.
time. It was cool to see the mental game of it.
Yeah.
I definitely see what you mean though. Like I watching F1 recently, Drive to Survive, not F1. I'm just gonna call it Drive to Survive.
Yeah.
Because then you guys won't assume I have more knowledge. Winning means you win. All right.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You're picking it up. You're picking it up.
I'm really getting the hang of
You're
this.
getting the lingo.
No, I will be watching that and to see how like aggressive they are and how they'll dive in to like block someone off, and I'm like, your wheels are just exposed. You know?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
at least
yeah.
in like if you're in a little Honda, you can
Yeah.
bump people and kind of get away with it.
There were a few cars that traded paint, but at the end of the day, like you're in there was only 5 cars on track, and like really, yeah, there was only 5 cars on
only
track.
5?
Kind of
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, there was only 5.
I
5 slow cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's why I was like, the 135s are really annoying. Because if
Zach's
I was
saying
like,
he came 5th bragging. Now,
Guys, I nearly got on the podium.
we got third. We were on the podium. We were third, which
out of
means-
5, that's shit.
yeah, no, we were a midfield car in third.
Yeah.
But no, like it was really difficult to try and get those 135s because you really just want to push it, but I couldn't just push it.
Yeah.
So I would
It
really
looked
like
like
to
you
try.
heard that car. Went, "Nah," you were making it scream.
Yeah, I mean, when it's not your car, you just kind of send it, you know?
No.
You know? Yeah, I do.
I respect
Well, I
other
said
people's
budget
cars.
enduro cars.
Yeah,
built
it's
to do
yeah.
that.
it was a race car.
Yeah.
It was a Honda race car, and they were all bouncing off limits. So I'm like, oh, I might as well do the same.
Yeah, you got to see if someone else do it though. That's
Yeah,
that's
I
my
was.
rule.
I was.
Oh,
the
you did
third
that in the
driver.
car. I'll do it.
Yeah, I was a third driver, so I was fine. But yeah, no, I mean, like it's when you're doing 135s and you're physically going slower, not to make sure you're going fast in that lap. You're like, okay, if this guy's gonna go around the inside here, I'll go around the outside and I'll shave a few seconds off. Or I'll add a few seconds. Yeah, sorry, I keep saying shave. That's weird. Yeah, no, I'll add a few seconds to my time because I know that I'll just make it up and do this, and I can easily pass them on the straight. So there's no point battling for a position. And then not only that, there's no point if you're all doing 135s. You have to be strategic in the way that you pass them, because if you pass them, you're immediately going faster than 135. If that guy is consistently doing 135s, there's no point passing them because that would make you go faster than 135. So you would have to pass them and then hold them up to make sure that you're doing that. So it's not really door-to-door racing. I would really like to try.
There's so much strategy.
proper-
I feel like you'd have to slow people down to make your 135 better.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
not?
So what I was doing is I was passing people on the straight, and then to make sure I wasn't doing a 135, I was slowing down in the apexes, which would make the car behind me have to slow down as well.
Yeah.
But then because I had the power on my side, I was able to power out of corners,
Ah,
and they
so
couldn't.
you cheated.
No, I wasn't cheating. I was playing strategic. Yeah.
Strategic cheating.
Yeah, strategically cheating with a faster car.
So what racing? What door to door is that? What it's called?
Yeah, I would love to
door-to-door
just be in an open class where you can take in whatever car you want, and there's no sort of restrictions. You can have fast cars, you can have slow cars, but if you're in like a stack of 20 cars and they all roughly had between 200 and 400 horsepower, and they all were a mixture of front and rear and all-wheel drive, I feel like that would be a cool little class where you could get people that are a lot faster than you, people that are a lot slower than you. You can learn how to overtake, when to be overtaken, and then also sort of be with people that are around your sort of thing, and when you can catch up with them in corners and when they're faster than you on straights. What do you do on that sort of thing?
Yeah.
It'd be cool to have so many different like diversify the cars a lot and then learn how to do that.
I've only experienced that with the Winton Fun Days, but they're like strictly not competitive. You're meant to pass on straights.
You're supposed to pass on
stuff.
straight, yeah.
But
yeah.
I it does interest me. It just scares me, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I need that car that like I'm like, this is my track bump into people car, because I want to try to dive in on someone, but I don't want to dive in someone and be like, glass headlights cost a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly right. And like that's where sim racing comes into it, because I've done a lot of sim racing and I did a couple of like enduros and stuff like that in sim racing, but I still, even on sims, I don't understand, like, once I'm offline, when do I need to start braking if I'm battling someone? And if I'm coming into a corner and I'm on the inside, when do I need to start braking to better help myself rather than, worry about this guy here?
If you're in line or something, like on the inside of the track and you brake
at the same
time,
point,
you're going to wash out.
I'm gonna come in. I'm basically diving in and washing out. But the worst thing is if I go at the same time as what these guys are, they're gonna have the optimum line, and technically they should give me room, but they only have to give me as much room as I need, and they can easily turn in on me and I can take them out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to learn very quickly.
I would like to
with
sim
my
race
car.
with you.
Yeah,
I would like to try that.
It would be good fun.
You can teach me.
Yeah.
Adam can not play because we're trying to do this drift challenge now. Now you're not allowed to play with my sim.
No.
Aw.
Like my first ever experience of worrying about door-to-door racing and the fact that I could easily fuck up was when I was in that Honda and I had to slow down on the straight and I was right beside another car and I wanted to win into the corner because I knew I'd have to overtake them on the straight again. I was like, I couldn't be bothered overtaking them again.
I watched this.
Yeah.
I watched you be greedy.
Yeah, I was greedy. I braked at the same point, but I was way offline. So I had to brake a whole lot more. And then after that, I basically turned in, I understeered, and then I put the brakes on to try and get the front to rotate, oversteered, and I was straight off track. So I braked at the same marker, but I was 2 or 3 meters to the left. So I was offline. So it's little things like that. Like imagine if I was in a race scenario where he was right beside me. He had the optimum line, and I just needed to be there to make sure that I was going to be around the corner. And I would have had to have braked maybe like 3 or 4 meters beforehand to make that corner, but
I love
I
like
didn't,
the
so-
greedy
and I went
thing,
off.
and I love being able to see it. Like I saw you do it. Like I saw you like racing. I'm like, he's not giving himself. Like I literally sat there like thinking exactly what happened.
yeah, I wasn't
know?
thinking about the outcome of it. I was thinking I just need to stay in front,
To
and that
gas,
is
yeah.
bad. Yeah, that is bad. You need to think very strategic. I could have easily braked a lot earlier, and I could have sort of always been there, but I would have had a better run out of the corner, and I would have stayed on track, which would have been a big thing. Staying on track's usually a pretty good part of racing. So
Is it really? They haven't told me that in Drive to Survive yet. If they drop something like that, I'm so video chatting into you. Check this out.
Check this
Staying
out.
on
Check what
track
he just
is
said.
normally faster. Wow.
Yeah. To make a lap complete, you must stay on the track. It's like,
man.
wow,
Oh.
mental.
I've only watched 2 episodes of the latest season, and it's just like
I don't know how you put
I was
yourself
talking about
through
today
that.
with you guys, and it's just so overly dramatic. Like they can be dramatic points that they were talking about, but they just pushed it too far. It's just like I'm watching. I'm like, what is this?
What have they spoken about so far? I haven't seen it.
I wish I could remember, but I don't remember anything.
A bit about Haas, and then Haas.
They're my
funny.
favorites.
I love Gene.
Yeah.
And then
Sorry, Gunter.
Gunter, yeah.
Gunter Steiner.
what was it? Lewis Hamilton. He got a third. And they made that a
They
big.
made them really dramy with his bouncy car too.
Yeah, it's called. The episode was called Bounce Back, which was pretty funny.
Should be called Bounce That Ass.
Just before we wrap this one up, I want to finish off my F1 predictions.
Yep.
I reckon McLaren's going to be shit.
I don't know
agree.
what we're doing
I reckon they're
predictions.
going to be. I reckon they're going to be absolute shit. Alfa Romeo will be good. Aston Martin will be a lot better than they were last year. Red Bull will take it out. Either Mercedes is sandbagging or they haven't really improved that much. So I'm going to still say third.
Sandbag.
Yeah, very true.
I reckon that they could be sandbagging. Ferrari.
Do people do that?
Yeah, 100%. I think Alpine's going to be.
They've been midfield again.
Yeah, basic.
Yeah.
I think they'll be basic.
Yeah. What are your predictions?
Don't ask me. Haas to number 1.
Haas. I don't know.
yeah. No,
I would love to see
I agree with
that.
you, Adam. I reckon.
I'm still not sold on Haas.
Yeah.
I love him. I'd love to see him pull some actual podiums. It'd be so
Yeah,
cool. I'd
like
be so G'd
like
up.
I say all this stuff, but I hope that the low tier teams do really well.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
that's
agree.
that's so good. Like I hope Alfa Romeo gets.
I just
up
want it
there.
to be a close. Like, do you fully support anyone, like a driver or a team? Like, you really want them?
I mean, like I supported Daniel Ricciardo because Australian.
Yeah,
So I'll
yeah.
support.
I hate that.
So I'll support Oscar
Yeah.
because Australian.
Yeah.
You just want to see
you
them
don't
do
know
well.
him.
You just want to see them do well.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it. I get it.
I really like Bottas.
I do too.
Yeah, he's good. He's good
Yeah.
value. He's basically an
He's
Australian.
more Australian than Oscar at this point with that mullet. Yeah,
Yeah, so
100%.
good.
You haven't seen any of those, have you?
No.
Okay, right. Don't worry, mate.
I'm keen. I'm sure in 2 years when the Drive to Survive comes out for
So-
it, I'll get to
So
check.
Bottas came over here to Melbourne, right? And he got a mullet cut. He
Nice.
has a big mo, like a proper
Yeah.
like Australian mo, and he was walking around in a VB singlet and thongs, and he took like
Love and life.
almost a VB commercial, and
That's
it was
so
the best
funny.
thing
Yeah,
I have
so
ever
good.
seen.
And then his his testing helmet was just like a normal helmet, but had like a mullet on the back and the big stash on the front.
It was
so
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Just quality.
Yeah.
He's just quality.
It needs more like that.
Yeah.
Like, seems like some people are so professional and trying to be like make appearances.
Yeah.
and I think that's why I land on like Haas more, because they'll just be straight like, we fucked up, and I
Yeah.
like that. You know, I don't
Yeah.
like when it seems like they make a mistake and there's just like, yes, I was very disappointed with the outcome today. No, show some emotion. I want to see it.
yeah,
Either way, Drive to Survive is going to make some emotion out of this, so I really like it to be accurate.
yeah.
I mean, I would really like to see Ferrari beat Red Bull, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I would think the team I'll probably back the most is probably Alfa Romeo because I like Joe.
Yep. Fair enough.
And obviously there's Bottas.
Yep.
And I think their car honestly looks the best.
Yep. I 100% agree.
But I don't like fully go, I'm an
went-
Alfa Romeo fan.
I went and looked after our last long ass bloody F1 chat. I went and looked up all the cars. Forgot completely what they all looked like already. Bro, it's like it's such a weird thing to be like, I'm 90% interested. Like, I want to watch the race at an applicable time. I want to follow the teams
Yeah.
if I can. You know, like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like so close to being thoroughly interested.
No.
I don't know what I need. Maybe watching a race with you
You
guys will like push me over.
Yeah, so the thing that got me into it, I watched Drive to Survive, and then one of my mates is like, hey, do you want to just come watch a race with us? And we all jumped on Discord. We shared a screen so that way we don't all have to pay for KO, allegedly.
That,
Yeah.
you got ko.ce.exe.
I got koce.exe.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we all jumped on a race, and then we all just like drifting. We all kind of speculated about yellow flags and red flags, and who was going to win and who was on the best strategy. And that's the best bit about it, to be honest, because I always watch F1 with mates, and that makes it really enjoyable. So I reckon 100%.
Cute. Do you hook up
You gotta do
after it?
Well, no, they're in Newcastle, so they're a fair way
Well,
away.
when we watch it,
Yeah.
Burks.
No, we do video stream after it. It's good fun, and we still get around, you know.
Get the old VR.
Get the
porn
old
out.
VR out and jump on the websites.
Oh, God.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
but yeah, no.
Something I really liked because I wanted Daniel to do better
Yeah.
last season, obviously. But
Yeah.
on the McLaren app, you could see their team radios.
Oh,
What?
cool. I didn't know about
So
this.
like I'm a sucker for like let me a little bit in the behind the
Yeah.
scenes, and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
So like I could see all their team radios in real time.
And hear them.
No, you couldn't hear them. It came up as text, so you could like see who was talking to who. You see the
Oh.
mic. So you could see who was talking to who. So like you could tell if there was something wrong with the car because they'd tell you, or
Yeah.
like they're constantly updating the drivers if they need to like lift and coast, or if they need to
Yeah.
get more pace or maintain their pace.
What's
or, like,
lift and
how they-
coast?
So that's
running out of fuel, basically.
either
Really?
running out of fuel or the car's starting to get warm.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
it's just
I've got-
lifting into the corner instead of braking instantly. So it allows time for the car to either save fuel or cool
Cool
down.
down. So I had a one final newbie question I'd like to end this beautiful episode on.
Yep.
Do they take consideration with the tires, or is their goal to like be maximizing them? Because like surely if you drive a bit less aggressive, you're gonna get a bit more life out of your tires,
Yeah.
and then be like, is that a thing they're doing? Because it just seems like they're like it's more efficient for them to churn the tires and switch them over.
No, they take consideration.
Okay.
Huge consideration. Tires are very, very scarce in F1. You have to use a certain number of tires for the qualifying, and then all through qualifying, depending on whether you get to Q1, 2, or 3, or whatever it is. You've used more tires, and then those tires you can use in the race. Like, you have to be really strategic
Yeah, so
about
they
tires.
don't bring like a trucklock full of tires.
Yeah.
So
Don't
there's
drift
heaps
them
of heaps of races where people are like, oh, they're going to switch to softs. So there's 3 grades basically. They're going to switch to softs, and they're like, oh, well, they only have one set of used softs left in the garage. So they want to go on to used softs, or do they want to go on to new medium? Used
Yeah.
softs or go on new mediums. So it's like they actually have a limited amount
Yeah.
of
See,
tires.
my favorite new show, Drive to Survive. Don't highlight that as much. Like
It's
I
like-
they
it's
mentioned
like
the
one
tire
of-
swapping, but I'm like, surely it's more technical.
It's
than
one of
that.
the biggest technical things inside
Yeah.
of F1.
What about fueling? Is that a problem?
Fueling, they normally nail it. Like
Yeah, because it'd be like what 2 in a race.
No, they don't refuel
they
during
don't
a race.
refuel.
They don't refuel. I
No.
thought they like did the.
No, they
No.
used to back in the day.
Oh, all right.
Got
Not
very
anymore.
dangerous. A lot of
Yeah.
pit
Lot of
crew
fire.
members.
A lot
Yeah.
of fire and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tires is like one of the biggest strategic calls. So it's always awesome when they have a plan, and then there's like a late safety car or something, and it just messes everything up.
love how people
and you
go-
just got to see
yeah.
like what teams do and how they navigate it all.
But one of my favorite ones is when you have a team that's playing it really safe, and they go out and they're absolutely dominating out in front, but then you see the team in second that's got nothing to lose, and they're like, all right, 10 laps to go, come in for softs, and we'll just smash it and see how far we
they
can
try
get.
and do like the undercut or the
Yeah.
overcut or something. It's
Yeah.
just the strategy side of it is really
My
cool.
It's
favorite
really cool.
ones, and I'm sure it's been super over dramatized on Drive to Survive, is like when the person in the car is like, "No, it's gonna rain. It's gonna rain," and makes that decision instead of the weather reporter. But like,
I feel like you're talking about poor Lando at Russia.
I can't remember. I
Aw.
can't remember. It's been a few moments.
Would have
where,
been
like,
Lando's first ever win, but he was really arrogant and yelled at the team, and it started raining, and he was like, "No, it's fine. I'm all good."
Really? No, I meant the
And
other way. I
then
saw
he
someone do
spat
the
out.
decision and make the win.
Oh,
No,
yeah, no.
Who was that? Was that Pierre
Pierre Gasly?
Gasly?
It might have been. No clue.
I think it was.
Lando was the one that was supposed to win and then spun.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
That
No,
was
I know
so
the one
took
that
him.
he's talking
That's
about.
mad
yeah.
upset. I'd be
Yeah.
so
Oh,
crushed.
yeah. Oh, yeah, you're talking about the...
I don't know,
is it-
bro.
is
You
it
could
this
literally
season?
name the person and I won't know.
Is it this season on Drive to Survive, the
really
one you're
doesn't
currently
matter.
watching?
No, it was last, prior season.
few ones
Okay,
ago.
right,
I feel like it was in that track where you can't overtake people.
Oh, Monaco?
Yeah.
Might have.
Don't think so.
No. Can't
Thought it was
remember.
Spa.
Anyway, thank you all for listening and watching.
Rate us 5 stars on Uber.
Check out all of the social medias, TikToks.
Instagram.
I don't know.
Instagram,
And-
TikTok, Facebook, all the social media platforms. Spotify, YouTube, big one.
What's that weird one your missus listens on?
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't remember. If you're on that weird podcast platform, jump off it. Get on a
We
real
are on it,
platform.
though.
We are
We're
on it, but
everywhere.
Get on a real platform, legit though. 100%. Get on Spotify. If you're not listening on Spotify, what are you even doing?
Spotify or YouTube.
I like the YouTube, yeah. 'Cause you got the
And-
video.
Yeah,
You
exactly
see my
right.
ugly head all day.
Exactly right.
And you should all put in the time to get into F1 because it is very good.
Or
And then you can
Yeah,
understand
they can understand what
with
we're talking about.
with our podcast.
But
So,
anyway, yeah, thank you all for watching and listening. We'll see you on the next one.
peace out.
Group kiss.